Yo, what's up, everybody? Xbox Ultimate Podcast, episode number 116 is live. And yes, we do have audio, unlike the start of last night's PM and the PM episode. I went and double and triple checked everything to make sure we were good to go. So thanks to the chat and everybody for being here. Lots of awesome people already in the chat hanging out. You guys all freaking rock. And we even got a $5 super chat before we're live from DRAWNTJ. Appreciate you. DRAWNTJ says, hi, guys. Hello. How are you doing, sir? Thanks for being here, and thanks for all the support. Man, what a great-looking group of guys here we got here for Xbox Ultimate on this panel. We're all smoothed out and everything as well, you know. Hey, we'll get to the intros here in a second, but I wanted to give a shout-out to those who are here nice and early for the show. What's up to Fifth Horseman, RSJ Fan, Alvin, Tony Grasso, Wilfred Rosario, how's it going? Nix, what up? Andrew Cullinane, and DeathLordStrong, Decado, Depka, how's it going to you, sir? As well, Outbreak Podcast, Dave, what up, man? How's it going with you as well? Rel's there, Truth Serum, yo, what's up, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. So, yeah, let's say hello to the panel here because we got a lot to talk about, and it's going to be fun. We're going to dive into 2023 a little bit and talk about some of these other games we've been playing this week. We'll start with Fuzz. Fuzz, you've had an interesting couple days, but how's it been going?
It's been going pretty good, other than a few crashes here and there, and not crashes within the game just crashing by Xbox. Need for Speed Unbound, with the exception of the crashes, it's been pretty fun, but I gotta get something figured out and get this, see if they can either patch it just for my console or something, which is that
can you release a fuzzy patch? You just for fuzzy, because it's like I know that there's like offshoots of little problems here and there, but like for the most part, like it's not, doesn't seem like it's a widespread thing that you're dealing with. So it sucks when you have a problem that affects like just you, because it's like, how do you expect a fix for that? It's like, and you like you said, you can't even submit a bug report because their website won't let you. It's weird, man. So, but other than that, glad you're here, Fuzz, as always. Appreciate you, bro. We got another guy back this week as well, because we were off last week, and I think Psycho, you were gone for Monday's show as well, and I think you were already gone for the week before that as well, dude. So it's been a while, man. How you doing, Psycho?
It's great to be back. Happy fucking Friday, everybody. Yeah, it's been a minute. Went to Thanksgiving out in North Carolina. Spent some time with family and had a great time. And now I'm back, and just been playing some PS5.
Yeah, you got a PS5 now. You've been playing catch up a little bit.
Well, I had a PS4, so now I get to.
You get to play the remasters and the director's cuts.
Yeah, exactly. I have two director's cuts. I have a remastered, and what is that?
Uncharted.
No, not Uncharted. That's the remaster.
Ghost of Tsushima.
No, that's the director's
Death
cut.
Stranding.
Far Cry 6.
Oh, Far Cry. Okay. Yeah, right on.
So I got that. So that's what I got to play. And
nice.
I love Ghost of Tsushima is my game of the year from 2019. It should have won. It got snubbed. But I won't go there.
Yeah.
Well, I was addicted. I played 36 hours straight the last time I played Ghost of Tsushima. So
it's a fantastic game. I can't wait to see what they do in the future with that franchise. This one, I think they'll probably keep going for sure, because I think that Sucker Punch is the biggest hit. Jasper, the realist, Marvel Snap enthusiast, the Midnight Suns streamer now as well. How are you liking that game? How's it been going, dude?
I'm liking Midnight Suns better than I thought I would. I think I got like 15 hours into it now, so I got a decent way through it, I think. I've been playing that. I played a couple hours of Callisto this morning. Played Call of Duty. I got one gun left to get gold, and then I got all my guns gold. And Overwatch Season 2 starts next week, so
nice.
I've been all over the place with games.
Yeah. Did you say? Did you? I don't know if you mentioned Callisto. Did you mention Callisto?
I did.
Yeah, and had you started it?
Yeah.
Okay. So how
I'm
far?
like 2.5, 3 hours in.
Okay. Have you had any like frame issues or anything like that
No,
in
I've
it?
been playing on performance mode, so all
Right.
that crap that they were bitching about on Twitter, I don't get anyway. So
Is
it's
it-
like,
Oh, that's only in the like fidelity mode.
yeah, the mirror reflection, you only get that in quality mode anyway. So like, I don't care. I wouldn't get it anyway. It's ray tracing stuff. So
Right. Oh wow. So people that are bitching about a 30 frames mode.
yeah,
Okay.
They love
Well.
their filmic games.
Okay, that's I guess. I mean, so a lot of people do. I can't judge what people like, but
I can.
That's funny. Then we got the Horseman from Minnesota. What's up? What's up, Pong? How's your throat, bro?
Doing much better today. Thank you very
Nice.
much. Yeah. Spent a lot of time eating halls and lots of warm tea. So
Yeah.
no, I'm feeling better today. For
That's
sure.
good.
Actually, my throat is. I was feeling fine. It was just my throat wasn't cooperating with the rest of me. But
Jesus.
everybody, it's Friday, and gotta say, you're looking at the newest Marvel super fan right here, thanks to Midnight Suns. So.
That is amazing. Really? Yes.
Well, no,
Yes.
I'm not gonna go watch
Let's
all the
go.
movies.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm not gonna go watch the
Can we
movies.
have an MCU marathon, Pong? Let's go. Me and you. Let's do
was
it.
that like fucking
No.
like 50 hours at that point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, at Disney Plus has like a party mode. We can watch stuff together. Let's go. No.
That's not gonna happen. But
Okay.
I will say, as not a Marvel fan, Midnight Suns has done everything right, even better than what I thought it was gonna be. From Firaxis, of course, which again we talked about many times, Mav. We were on the train, then we were off the train, back on. And again, I said I trusted Firaxis to come through, and boy, did they deliver. I don't know, as far as the complaints go, they're valid in some ways, but the overall game is just fantastic. It's exactly what I was hoping for, and the story is better than what I was hoping for. The writing is better than I could have ever hoped for. Sure. Could they have done something with the animations? Yeah, they could have. Are there little details like when it's raining outside, your characters don't see a single drop on them? Yeah, that could be better too. Lip syncing? Sure, absolutely could have been better. Acting overall, I think is really good. I know, Mav, you talked about it, some people in your chat when you were streaming didn't like Tony Stark actor. I can see why you guys don't like him per se, but again, how much is he in it? How much is he actually talking? Like, it's not like that big a deal to me.
I like the
but-
lines he has.
I
It's
feel
more
like
about
all
the
these
delivery,
characters
you know?
fit more than they did in the Avengers game.
Yes.
Yes, completely 100%. So no, I'm having an absolute blast. The legendary outfits that I got with the legendary edition are awesome. I got to get rid of Miss Marvel's absolutely horrible modern haircut, which is one of the reasons why I can't stand her in the first place. And now that she's got a normal haircut and a new outfit, I actually am liking her, and she's super powerful in combat. So I'm actually upping my friendship with her, which I did not think I was going to do. So yeah, no, having a blast with Midnight Suns. This is a great game, folks.
The only problem I had with it was it was a little slow at the start. Like,
Yeah.
it was like 2
There's
hours
a
of
lot of
cutscenes. You played like
cutscenes, yeah.
3 missions. But
Yes.
like once I'm like maybe 5 hours in, like I can just do missions whenever I want now. It's like
Do
not that
missions
big.
whenever you want and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I took it because I took to heart when they started talking more and more closer to launch about it being an RPG. So I went into it kind of expecting that. So like I went roaming the Abbey for like my first hour. Like I didn't care. Like I just
Yeah.
was finding stuff way ahead of time, way ahead of the curve. Like I was finding all the ingredients and all sorts of stuff and all the secrets. But that even opens up even more. So there's
Yeah.
little nitpicky things I could go through. But again, as a game from Firaxis, XCOM, still being mainly a tactics RPG, a strategy RPG, I can't complain. And the battles, I'm loving the smaller arenas. I'm loving the strategy. It actually had me move up to Heroic 1 from normal. And definitely bumps up the difficulty. I've been getting used to getting 1 stars now instead of 3 stars like I was on normal. So I was, again, but it makes sense with your characters that they power up and you enhance your cards and all that kind of stuff. It's well done that way. And the strategy while you're in battle, fantastic. Again, trying to prepare and plan out the cards on top of moving your characters, on top of being able to use some of the environment that I still forget about sometimes. All of that. Again, it's a learning curve, but I'm loving this game so far.
It just keeps getting more in depth too. Like you just start every like couple levels, I just get like some new ability. Like
out of the blue.
Like what the hell? Yeah, it's like what the hell is this?
Yeah. And the devs said that it will go all the way through to the end. You're going to be finding new abilities all the way, like end game abilities you won't get until like close to the very end. So no, loving absolutely every minute of it. Sure, the currency in it, earning the what is it called, glint, to buy like literally everything. If you want to put up artwork, you have to spend money. ACG was not wrong about that. I don't care about that stuff. Like it doesn't bother me in the least. So no, fantastic game. If anybody's been on the fence, go get it. Highly recommend that game. 100%. I'm addicted. So
that's awesome, man. I feel like this may be the kind of strategy game because it is tied to Marvel IP, and it does have that the card system, which we kind of balked at first when we found that out. I feel like in a way this game could potentially welcome a new audience into tactics games.
The thing is, though, it can be really simple, or like once you get later on, you can make it in depth as you want. Like I can like mod cards and like add new effects and stuff, like with currencies and stuff. It's like I can make it really in depth, or I can just go in with basic cards on easy difficulty.
And people can stick on normal. And I think you're right, Mav. Again, when we talked about this, we knew what they were doing, and they kind of hinted at it that they wanted to bring a wider audience in, that they didn't want to go full XCOM. But like Jasper just pointed out, the further you get along, if you want to and you want to move up in those levels of difficulty, you do have to do that stuff. But if you want to stay on normal and just play through it, casuals can jump right into this and have no problem whatsoever. Like literally. So they did a great job with this game. Firaxis, again, masters at what they do. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And again, the stories.
That's what I was saying. Like you said, the story is better than I anticipated, because you don't really expect that from a strategy game. Like, I mean, XCOM story, I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, take it or leave it. It's not what the game's all about, right? No. Like, but the way that they did this, it actually made you care, you know what I mean, about what's going on. And you feel like, there are a lot of cutscenes starting out, like, and I was like, okay, there's like quite a bit. And I was watching Jasper stream, I was like, wow, okay, there's a lot of cutscenes. And then when I was streaming, it was like maybe like 3 battles for 2 hours worth of like of like mechanics, learning, going around and introducing people and stuff. But that I didn't really have a problem with it either, because I know it's setting the stage for the rest of the game, right? And I also feel like because of that, it also might welcome in a new audience and kind of walk them along into the game instead of just bombarding them with tactics right away.
Correct.
You know, like if you were to just like load this game up and all of a sudden it's just only that tactic style gameplay without all this other stuff, you're gonna lose a lot of those casuals, I feel like, right away. Although I do also think that there's still people that just did not know what the hell this game was,
and I don't know how.
And I don't know how either. I think they just saw Marvel and they saw, you know, like some of the cutscenes trailers they had, and just assumed that it was gonna be like, you know, there was a guy when I was streaming, and he was like, don't buy this game, everybody. It's a card game. It sucks ass. And I'm like,
my concern wasn't the card game. My concern was the RPG elements outside of the gameplay. Is like, how is that going to play into effect? Like,
like the friendships and stuff. I mean, again, all of that stuff has turned out to be like less than I thought it was going to be. Like, there is no cuts. I mean, it's
so much easier to do than I thought it would be. Like, I thought I was going to have to actually spend like a lot of time doing this. But I can
like
just,
the sparring and stuff. It's just a quick, hey, I'm going to spar with this person. You get the rewards. Oh, okay, cool. We're done. All right, that's it.
I'm looking forward to diving more into it for sure. There's been so many games though, man. It's like his Need for Speed Unbound has got his hooks in me. I'm still into NBA. Season 3 just hit today.
You just gotta put that down.
Like, I know, man. I have to, but like here's the thing. Like, I was so close to getting level 40, which is max out level for my team. And if I did that, I got Devin Booker, which
didn't though.
I did. No, I did.
Oh, you did?
So I
Oh, okay,
buckled
okay.
down and finished that off yesterday because I had to.
I was gonna say because you were DMing. I thought for sure.
Yeah,
you
no,
had it.
I got it. I got it. But those last several ones, are pretty challenging. And then I realized, I still haven't gotten my centerpiece trophy, and I need to get that because now the 96 guys you get for those are becoming a little underrated compared to what the high tier cards are. So now I'm like, what's the easiest way to get the centerpiece? And I realized, like, if I play these 12-minute easy mode matches, like 12-minute quarters, which is a full fucking 48-minute game, right? Which actually takes probably like an hour or more because of all the stop time. What was that?
I have no idea what that was.
You have challenges, like one of them is I got to get 886 points in a game.
Yeah.
So I got to do that, right? And a couple other things. So I'm only 3 more of those challenges away from getting the centerpiece. So things like that, I've always been that like grind type guy. If I have a clear objective and like I have a goal that I actually want, I'm gonna see that through, right?
Did you make a spreadsheet?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't go that deep into it, Jasper. But that's also the things I like about Need for Speed is the grind aspect of it, which we talked about last night, Pong, on PM and the PM with Colt, and that's my thing. Some of the things that some people aren't liking about the game is some of my favorite things about the game, because I feel like I have to earn what I'm getting with it, and that is something that has been missing from racing games for a while now. So I'm appreciating the hell of that game. Fuzzy has not had a good experience at all because he can't even hardly play the damn game. I'm hoping your troubles are over, Fuzz. It's not. You said you were able to play for a few hours without crashing.
Yeah,
so.
The biggest thing with that game, I'm enjoying it when it's not crashing, and I like a lot of things about it. Like visually, it's everything I hope for and then some. I mean, yeah, there's some like areas where it could use some touching up in comparison to like a Forza Horizon 5 or something, but for the most part, that whole anime style, I like the overall look. I like the realistic look in the backdrop as far as the people walking around on the streets, the elevated trains, everything of it is just awesome. The handling, it's no Forza by any means, but it's definitely playable. I mean, I made some adjustments. It's well within what I expect. I don't like their form of drifting as much as I would like in other arcade racers, but the regular driving is fine. But there's so much that I like about the side bets, the clothing, and I know it's a racing game. Who cares about the clothing? But the actual fact that they have like a variety of different brands of clothing and stuff like that for your character was pretty cool. But
actually, so my GSX, I put drift tires on it today. And that helped a lot. It really did. I was going around corners a lot smoother, but there's a catch. Put the drift tires on, you're not getting as high top speed and coming, you know what I mean? So you do sacrifice a little performance. So there's always a little trade-off no matter what you go with, right? So I feel like we are inundated with some solid good games right now overall, though. Callisto Protocol, Jasper's having a fun time with. I see that game's gotten mixed reviews.
Yeah, shame.
But
and I was gonna say it's not just about the performance though.
Yeah.
There are people that have a problem with the combat system.
The combat is I've started on hard difficulty today, and I was gonna play it all the way through, but the combat is just there's so much RNG with it. It's like it's just gonna punish you like for no reason. Like it's just computer's gonna throw shit at you that just because it can. It's like it's not fun.
Yeah, that's what I've seen.
Yeah.
So a lot of people having problems with the combat. So a lot of just dodge and block, and people just can't get that down.
It's not even that. Like even
people are
like
saying it's unfair though.
Yeah, like even on hard difficulty, like there could be an enemy in front of me. He just grab you. It's like he shouldn't be able to grab me. It's like what?
Right. Exactly, and I think that's where the mixed reviews are in. So because some people are saying they get used to it. Again, that's with any game, right? That's like any game that has a different type of combat system. Sometimes some people get used to it, some people just don't, or give up and just say, I'm not going to put myself through this, like I did with most of the Souls games until Elden Ring, right? I'm just not going to put up the time to get good at this. But I think this one, again, to Jasper's point, there's a lot more people just saying that there's just a lot of unfairness, that it's just Like
the game
I do
wouldn't
everything
be,
right, but the game it just gets by and cheats.
Yeah.
yeah, like the game wouldn't be that hard, like on hard difficulty, if it was like fair. But it's just gonna do a fucking computer whatever like they can do. It's like okay,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
But shame on the devs
curveball.
for the performance problems too. Again, they fixed the PC version supposedly today. They already launched a patch for the PC. I saw D-Batch put up a new video saying that it actually did help a lot. So again, shout out to them for doing that. But shame on the devs, for launching it this way. If again, whether the performance mode is what most people are going to play or not, just putting it out the door like this. Where the PS5 version, obviously, as we all know, got help from 150 devs from Sony. Congratulations. But sacrificing the other versions is kind of BS, man. I don't like that. So
yeah, I
I've ran into any performance problems. I'm loving like the tone and the atmosphere of the game. Like I like the dark sci-fi Space Force stuff. Like all that's really cool.
Yes.
Really digging that. The only issue I noticed was like the dude always has sweat on his face. I'm like, we're on a snow planet. Like, why are you still sweating, bro?
That's funny.
I should freeze after a while.
The graphics look really good. I was watching Addict play on Iron Lord's stream a little while ago, and I was like, wow.
They got like all real actors too to like and like motion captured them and stuff.
I saw Josh Duhamel screaming like bloody murder for a minute. And that was pretty cool.
Digital Foundry said it's one of the best Unreal Engine 4 games they've ever seen. So, I mean, obviously they took full advantage of every ounce of Unreal 4. So,
Psycho, with playing all these PS5 games, have you had a chance to play like even like the trial for Need for Speed or anything like that?
No, I was actually playing Need for Speed when it came out when I was at my brother's because he bought it for the Xbox, and the drifting was fucking way off, and I wasn't able to tweak it in the settings, but after a while, like my brother's like, I kind of taught myself how to race with that with the setting, and I'm like, you can't change it. He's like, are you fucking serious? I'm like, yeah. So he didn't even realize you could do that. So but
and it depends a lot on the car too and how many upgrades you have for it. Once you get your car like closer to an A level or even in an A level, like it's that the drifting issues start kind of melting away a little bit.
Fuzzy, quick question. Since you always analyze this stuff in racing games like nonstop, so you've got a really good eye for this stuff and a feel for this stuff. With the drifting, like I tuned it and fixed it and I got better with it. But do you think from your playthrough, because you probably use kind of the same car and kind of the same tune setup for a period of time, do you think it's inconsistent on how it hits corners though?
It definitely seems like it. It seems like sometimes it's like curb related. Like there are certain turns where the pavement doesn't seem like it's even, and it causes the car to act weird, or it seems like it should slip a little bit more and it sticks that time. So there is a lot of inconsistency.
That's a problem GTA has. When you go up a curb on GTA, like your car can like that microsecond of air like causes your car to boost up. So like that's a problem that a lot of a car game could have. It's just
well, that's like real life though. When that does that, when you hit those little berms,
sure.
But it seems like it's not like I guess the biggest problem is that if you're used to playing Forza, there's a certain level of expectation or predictability. This seems to sometimes throw you a curveball for just some reason to either let the AI catch up or let the cops catch up or or something.
Oh, so it's like Callisto's Combat, but in Need for Speed.
I would not be surprised.
It has rubber banding. It's a typical arcade racer all the way, except it doesn't rubber band you into first very much.
Man, have you guys noticed when you hit the nitrous how everybody else gets a boost whether they're using nitrous or not? Like your initial boost, and also the other cars are going. I'm like, wait a minute, they're not using their boost right now. I'm like, what the hell is this? And it takes a second before it starts catching up.
I actually found I don't like racing in the lead because I like getting the draft on like the first or second place players the whole time.
You got to shake and bake it,
nitro, and then trying to kind of pass closer to the end of the match, right? Because of it, But I'm enjoying the hell out of it. Multiplayer is they launched it works great. Like the graphics even in the multiplayer mode is the same as the single player. Sometimes it can slightly different. This is like 1-for-1, and the matches, they got drifting, and they got regular races, and they have these other things like based on like point systems, trying to accumulate points for style. Kind of reminds me of like kudos, right, from like PGR and stuff like that. There's a lot of cool stuff here to enjoy if you like arcade racers. So it's not going to be like the best racer ever or anything like that, but for Need for Speed, for me, this is like the best one in a really, really, really long time. So I'm enjoying that for sure. I hope your game starts acting better though, Fuzz, so you can enjoy it a little bit more and get deeper into it, because a lot of the stuff I feel like may change later in the game, right? So but that's December, right? I mean, we got even more coming this month. We got High on Life still already. On the 14th, Lego Star Wars is hitting.
Yeah, we get the Skywalker saga. I'm glad I didn't buy it.
Yeah, me too, awesome. Man.
Yeah.
Jasper's the dummy that bought it.
Yeah, I bought it. See, the thing is, I did it when there was not much out, so I already 100%ed it. So I got a free 80 hours on my schedule where you all got to make up.
Right on.
Did we get clarification on Hot Wheels yet, though? Like, what the hell happened?
What do you mean?
Well, they announced Hot Wheels, the Game of the Year edition, or where the hell it is, right?
Yeah.
And then they put out a notice today saying, "Oh, actually, that's not going to happen on the 15th. We'll have an update when we get a new launch date or whatever." They just said, "We'll update you guys as soon as we know more." That came from Xbox today.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So something happened with that, and it's not going to launch on the 15th or whatever it was. 14th.
Probably. It's probably conflicted with Sony, because they have that, I think, in PS Plus.
Okay.
So I think they have to wait for whatever that time expires, and then they can throw it into
some Sony exec saw it and were like, "Hey, wait a second,
you can't.
No, I can't have that.
Not yet. Not
block it.
Yet.
Block it.
Block the
Game
deal.
of the Year edition.
Block the deal."
Yeah, but is it just the Game of the Year edition that's not launching, or is it just like?
No, they said the game isn't going to be
Okay.
launching on the 15th. So I'm assuming we're still getting the full boat. We're still getting the full, game with all the, everything, which is what that version is. But yeah, it's just going to be later. So I don't know if it's going to get pushed to later in December, or if this is like hey, we'll see you in January kind of type deal. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's interesting. That is a good game too. That is
Yeah,
an
you
old
said
school
that.
arcade
Yeah, you
racer as well.
Yeah.
If you like drifting, that is the game to play, because
Right.
that is all that it is. It's pretty much Mario Kart except for Hot Wheels as
That's
far
awesome.
as drifting goes.
Yeah, I was looking forward to downloading it and playing it actually. So
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a good time, man. It's one of those, like, the longer you drift, you get like different tiers of boost. You
That's
know what I
awesome.
mean?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun, and the courses are pretty fun, and it's not super easy either, right? It's not super easy. You're not going to automatically get wins in this game. The cars are really cool. There's a lot of Hot Wheels in there. I haven't booted it up in a long time, but it was a good time when I was playing it. So I'm glad that it's hitting Game Pass, because I don't know why they name it Game of the Year edition though. That is like, there's such a weird trend for these like companies to do, like Game of the Year to who? It like
They might have won some award somewhere for it.
Yeah.
So they can just call it that.
we
you
won
know?
the Argentinian racing toy racing Game of the Year.
Right.
Yeah. We beat out the Matchbox mobile game, so it was great. It's freaking awesome though that's coming. Surprising news though for December though already, like with that, between that and Lego Star Wars, then we also got something that's going to take us into our big conversation here. We got news that Monster Hunter Rise is actually coming to Xbox. And not only that, but when it launches on PlayStation and Xbox and everything, guess what? It's going to be in Game Pass day one. That is a big deal, because that is an immensely popular game. Anytime you watch any kind of game show or like anything where Capcom was involved, you have at least like 3 different Monster Hunter Rise trailers, right? With like content for this. And supposedly what people are saying is like, I guess from the trailers, like it's going to look glorious in the 4K, So I will personally be playing this.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Is
Yeah,
it
I
free to
forgot to
play?
start
Or
the
is it-
previous one when it came to Game Pass, or actually when it came to Xbox, which I think that was one of their best performing Monster Hunters in a while when we finally got it on Xbox last go around
Yeah.
for the previous one. But
Monster Hunter
man.
World.
Is it
whatever.
4-player squads, 3-player squads? Does anybody
I gotta
know?
look
Not
it
sure
up.
on this one. I know the other one. I think you could do 4-player squads. Or no, wait, was it 4? Or
You
3?
could do 4, I think, in World.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not sure on this.
I didn't
this
have
one
any
was-
I'm hoping it's the
friends to
same
play.
thing.
Yeah,
Up to
World with.
4 people can
Yeah.
join.
Okay.
So
That's awesome,
Yep.
man. I mean, I feel
Yeah.
like it's welcoming a whole new. I hate when games like that are exclusive to Nintendo and stuff like this, and or this is going to open up this game to a bunch of players, and
Just- it's good news that
pretty cool.
Capcom is a believer in Game Pass, right? So whatever, again, they're a believer in the money bag too, but there's been other companies
Yeah.
who don't believe in this. To put this type of game that is this popular into Game Pass day and date when it's just launching on consoles, on certain consoles for the first time, that's a huge deal. That's another shout out to Sarah Bond and the rest of that team that's been putting in work at the East,
Yeah.
because Capcom is obviously on board with Xbox.
I
which is
wonder
great.
how much money they had to drop for that.
It was one of their bigger ones. I'm sure it was one of the more
Yeah.
expensive ones, because that's an instant seller. Had they just announced it for Xbox, there'd still be a big group of people that would have gone out and bought it.
I mean,
bought
think
it.
about you think about Xbox. You think about that, but then this expands now because of Xbox is more than just the
Yeah.
console. I don't know if it's going to be PC Game Pass as well. I don't know if they mentioned that or not, but you'll be able to, because it's in Game Pass, you're going to be able to play this in the cloud.
I don't. Is it even on PC?
Yeah, it's coming to PC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's part of the launch.
It's
with
part of
this.
the launch. Yeah,
Because I
Yeah.
just saw on the launch where it just says PS5, PS4, Xbox One, and Series consoles. I didn't see PC.
Is it already out on PC? By the way, maybe it is already out on PC.
It might be already out on PC.
It's already
Oh,
yes, it's
yeah,
already out
on.
on PC. It's
Yeah.
already out on PC. Yep.
So I
It
was
is.
wondering if PC Game Pass will be a part of that, but not only that, like I feel like just playing this in the cloud could be
Yeah.
pretty cool for a lot of people, especially if you look at like places like Japan and stuff like that. This game's immensely popular.
I mean, they're playing it on the Switch.
Yeah, but it's okay. So you
Yeah,
got
I
all
know.
these new mobile devices out there and everything, and playing on your phone where you have broadband, as well. So I think there's a lot of potential for this game within Game Pass. For
Yeah, it's coming to
2023.
Windows PC, so it hadn't been on Windows. I think it was only elsewhere before. So the game is currently on Switch and PC. Never mind. I'm just kind of reading as I go. Yes,
Yeah.
it will be on PC Game Pass.
Oh, that's big.
Nice.
I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And another PC Game Pass win right now is those Riot Games just started hitting. Kind of weirdly that they just started dropping like without a lot of talk.
ABK deal.
Yeah. You think that's what it is? You think
Bro, we barely getting any kind of excitement whatsoever. I mean, I saw Xbox put out the post about Monster Hunter Rise, but that Riot Games deal was announced how long ago? It is a huge deal.
It was
It's got all
announced
the
at
free-
E3.
Yeah, E3. It's
yeah.
got all the content in there for free, and they aren't making a big deal out of it right now. I don't know, man. It's strange how Xbox is acting right now.
that was a big
So,
part of their E3 showcase, right? So
yeah,
you
it's
know,
huge.
for those games that with all that content, I mean, you're talking about thousands of dollars of content,
Yes.
Mhm.
right?
But also, I feel like that can really spread by word of mouth really quickly, because all it takes is that one person in game chat and like in that game chat be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
did you know you can get on Game Pass and just like get everything?" So like it could spread really quickly, just like
within
by
that
word of mouth.
within that community,
Yeah.
right? Especially, you're right, Jasper, because with the community, once that catches on, people will be like, "Well, I wonder if you can like migrate your account."
Well, you just sign into your Riot Games account. I would assume that everything would.
Right. Yeah. So you just go load it,
Yeah.
boot it from Game Pass, and then log into the Riot Games account. It's interesting, dude. They're making so many like big moves, and yeah, the thumbnail, Xbox will dominate 2023, right? The question is how long do they got to wait before they drop all the goodies, right? Because how long will the ABK deal take into 2023? It seems like every day there's a conflicting report from a different business political type website. Bloomberg had a conflicting thing today that kind of conflicted. Two different reports yesterday that kind of conflicted the Politico report before that. And it's like all of them say sources close to. And it's
everybody's leaking. Everybody's leaking to the press. That's why. So you're getting all the sides leaking different details for their
I mean,
own.
shouldn't that be illegal?
Because
No.
it doesn't directly break any laws. Like it's that gray area.
Yeah, it just
It's
seems
not illegal,
so
but it's
weird.
it's definitely borderline. I don't know.
It's not nothing about this deal is how normal businesses would act and how normal regulatory bodies would act. So right now, this is kind of like we're in uncharted territory with this deal because normal behind the scenes in business, neither side would want to be the one that wants to affect the deal one way or the other. But because now we have a party that actually does want to affect this deal, and then you got the regulatory bodies who are on their own agendas, and then you got Microsoft. Yeah, now we got this whole conflict of interest where everybody's going to release stuff to different papers like this to try to get their influence within the marketplace, and it's crazy. It is absolutely insane.
So what? I got a question for you guys, right? Let's say like May 30th, 2023, the final approval comes through, right? What happens a week or 2 weeks after that with Xbox?
Nothing.
You don't think so?
Yeah,
I think you at least have that round table, even though, well, I guess
it won't be around.
Are we saying May 30th that the papers are signed, or May 30th all the regulators are like
all the regulators have said they're not blocking the deal. Xbox
it's going to be
clear.
at least a month before Xbox like even does anything. Like, because
yeah,
they may say like they may put out like an announcement, be like this is done or whatever, but like it's going to be like a month before you ever see them like actually I think talk about it.
So E3 2023,
whenever a month after it closes this, I don't know, like
right.
At least.
So what I'm getting at is they've seemed to be like sitting on things for a long time, right? We already have we have speculation. Maybe there's gonna be a Starfield trailer at the Game Awards potentially, but besides that, they've been holding stuff with close to their vest, just like PlayStation has, right? And I feel like there's this like pent up energy within Xbox of deals that are either done that they can't announce or that they're working on.
Are they though?
I think so, Jasper.
Because like, I mean, we just had Gamescom in August, and then before that we had E3. So like,
yeah, but E3 they chose to stick to 12 months, right?
Yeah, but they still showed something. Like, I mean, they're still showing stuff.
Not what they could. Not what they could, right? And there's speculation about the Game Awards, them potentially not having a big presence there. We don't know. I'm still calling for them to have like at least 2 games there, right? I think it would be a mistake.
I just feel like everyone like kind of lately is expecting like they need a big game announcement like every month. It's like I don't know.
Well, we gotta. So look at the math of like they have like all these projects in the works, right?
Yeah, but like if you go like a year ago before this deal was signed, like you had 3 months before we haven't had any news out of Xbox. Like we've had these breaks before, so it's like
this year's been very quiet compared to the previous years, right? Yeah. I mean, they have not announced a game for an extended period of time out this year, period, like at all. You know, like
because they had no games.
No,
they announced H4 for Xbox is coming late 2023.
But that's a game. That's a game that's PC. You know, like already and stuff like that. But what I'm talking about is like we know Compulsion's working on a game. We know InXile's working on a game. We know that like the Certain Affinity thing. There's IO Interactive thing. There's all these different projects. I mean, there's a little shit ton. There's like 40 something projects that they have, right?
But
Yeah.
I mean, it could just be I don't know. I think people maybe just putting like the whole deal and the way the kind of new market strategies go in as a coincidence together. Like, I think it could just be the change in culture where it's like, if we show something 5 years before it's coming out, and people are just going to bitch about it for 5 years, and then it may be canceled. Like, or
yeah, but then what's the excuse for
reworked.
Avowed, for Fable, for Perfect Dark, for, you know what I mean, for State of Decay 3, for all those other games that they did announce over 2 years ago now, and they haven't.
It's just the
shown
change in
anything.
culture. It's just like we know it's out there, but like we're not going to update it, because if we update it, then you're just going to be asking about it even more. So it's like it will be out when it's out.
Yeah, but they're trying to sell subscriptions to Game Pass and stuff. So you want that hype. You know what I mean? I think.
But right now, I do definitely see right now that they're holding back new games because of the ABK deal. We're not going to see nothing brand new.
There's talk, Psycho, that Redfall and Starfield could have potentially had launched this year if the ABK deal wasn't a thing. I don't know if there's any truth to that.
I doubt that. I know, no way. No, there's no way that Bethesda will delay a game just for an ABK deal. I highly doubt that. Like, there's no way Todd Howard's like, yep, I think it's a good idea if we delay my game. I do not think that he would delay it.
But Todd would probably, like, I don't know, like Todd would probably want as much time as possible before releasing.
Todd would be agreeable to it. You could hear it in that interview, Psycho. He'd be agreeable to it for Starfield for sure, because he understands the pressure that's on Starfield. So I honestly think that they probably welcome the extra year. So I don't think
could they have
Redfall,
could they have launched it last year?
They could have.
If they weren't under Xbox, if they weren't under Xbox, Bethesda would have pushed it out. But Xbox,
ZeniMax would have launched it. Yes, ZeniMax would have launched that game.
Exactly.
Absolutely, 100%. 100%. It would have been Bethesda, but they would have said, "So what? Our audience already expects it. We'll fix it. The modders will fix it. We'll be fine."
Not only that, but the Xbox of old would have also launched it.
Yes, absolutely. But Redfall's been ready. Redfall's been ready, and I think that that's the one thing we can point to is that we don't have a release date for Redfall yet. There's no way, if the Game Awards come and go and they don't give us a Redfall release date on the Game Awards, they are definitely holding back right now, because that game is ready. That game has been ready. So there is no way we don't have a release date already without the ABK deal. Or with the ABK deal.
At E3, Redfall was not, you could tell the issues that it had with the bit of the glitching.
But that's an old build, you know that, Psycho. They give those builds for E3 months and months in advance.
Yeah, but right? If it's, I think what they could have easily done an October release of Redfall. Did a Halloween would have been like the perfect fucking release date.
I think the problem
with
Redfall. And honestly, why it was delayed, the game's ready, but I think they're lacking content for, like, after you beat the game, like, what do you do? They don't want another Sea of Thieves situation where they just have to wait 2 years before you actually start getting content.
I don't know. They got the portals and they got the extra spaces already for the end content. They confirmed that already, that was ready to rock and roll. So there is replayability.
Yeah, but how much? Like, I mean,
well, but that game's also like more of like a single player also experience that you can play co-op, but I feel like there's a beginning and an end, to Redfall, right? I don't think
unless
it's like
there's more to it.
It started as a single player game first,
right?
So,
exactly. I mean, just like Dishonored or Prey or whatever.
I just get the feeling that they're trying to transition that game into like a Destiny model.
It could very well be,
and that's why I could see that, or like how like the Division, like you could do the single player 1 to 30, and then just put it down and not do the end game stuff.
Jasper says Redfall will be Xbox's Destiny.
We'll see.
No, but I definitely think they're working on the end game stuff. Just kind of like what you guys are saying. They want something that once you finish it, because there are people who'll finish it in 2 weeks or less. They'll try to
finish it in like 8 hours somehow.
Yeah, because if Redfall's ready to go, seriously, like they would not let the 2022 year have no big
They would.
release game.
Yes, they would.
I'm thinking otherwise.
For a
Only
$70 billion
because of the-
deal, they will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, for Redfall, would they hold
Yes.
back Starfield? They could do that, I guess. But
Well, a lot of these games are being used with against them with the regulators about, well, Bethesda ZeniMax games are exclusive now. See what we're saying? You know, mine, regardless of the fact that Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo were also exclusive to PlayStation for a year. But it doesn't matter. What I've learned, Psycho, and I've had these arguments too, is that the regulators are fucking stupid and they don't understand gaming at all. So they're these people from Sony or the people from Sony and other whoever's trying to make a case, the lawyers and stuff are like, oh, look at this thing, Xbox showed this game and we don't have it, or just completely
They would be
ignoring.
See, they got plenty of content. They don't need ABK.
Completely ignoring the world of gaming that we've all known
Common
for
sense.
20, 30 years, right? And I agree with you that there's no reason why they should have to do that. But based on the fact that they went with that 12-month plan for E3, based on the fact that they didn't really do much at Gamescom either beyond that, and with some of the speculation now about the Game Awards, the fact that PlayStation also didn't even have their show this year, and then also speculation that they may not even have a big presence at the Game Awards now as well. PlayStation hasn't even announced any of their other games yet. The last new games there probably is. I mean, the game devs got to be working on something, right?
They're working on something, but it's so far not even ready.
Has that stopped PlayStation in the past? I mean, they launch. No. They usually announce games 3 or 4 years in advance. You know,
they've done that in the past, but right now with this ABK deal, they got to present weak.
That's what I'm saying. That's but PlayStation too, right? But
Xbox, I think what they're trying to do is that they don't want extra ammunition to give to Sony or have the regulators look at that and be, oh, what's this game? We haven't heard this one yet. This looks massive. You know, they don't want to do that. If anything, at the Game Award show, they're going to show something that has been announced. Maybe an update with
Grounded.
Well, see, I was going to say State of Decay 3.
Sea of Thieves. New expansion.
Or
see, I'm with you. I think they should be able to do that. I was told on Xbox Factor podcast or Primetime Gaming from the entire rest of the panel that no, Xbox will not even do that because it's not even worth the risk. And I'm like, well, everybody's saying this, and I'm like, Colt even alluded to that too last night. And I'm like, why are the regulators that stupid to realize that video game companies have to make video games? I guess they are. I guess they are, according to everybody. So I don't know.
Do the regulators even know the difference when it's you could have fucking Tekken is supposed to be shown at the Game Awards. If that just comes out and says Xbox at the bottom, or the regulators can be like, oh, that's an Xbox property, Tekken.
Well, did you hear the I think it came out 3 weeks ago. I don't think we've talked about this on any show. Nobody said it, but there was a blurb in one of the reports from the EU. I think it was the EU stuff that there was a report that Phil flew over there and brought a PlayStation.
Yeah, I saw that.
Brought an Xbox, brought a Switch to show the regulators the difference in content between all of them. Because these regulators don't get it. They don't understand the difference. So if they're going that far to educate these regulators, which we talked about plenty of times when this started, that was going to be the main job, then unfortunately, Jasper, you're probably correct. That's probably why you don't see the Sony marketing like they normally have on some of their games, or the Final Fantasy 16 stuff, because that's exactly
you remember
what
the
happened.
PlayStation marketing was absent from all those Call of Duty trailers.
Yes.
And Final Fantasy 16. But definitely the EU and the CMA, and even the FTC, those politicians, all they know of video games is that their kids or nephews are playing them, and that's it. They don't know who has what intellectual property.
Except for Ricardo. Ricardo and his
Yeah,
PlayStation.
Ricardo.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's on his
He's an
PlayStation.
expert. But
FIFA is exclusive to PlayStation, I heard. So
but they do know FIFA, those big titles. But guess who's behind the marketing? Sony's behind FIFA. You have Call of Duty with Sony again, and what's the other big EU and big game out
FBC?
there?
Well,
No, the big games that Sony has marketing.
There's just two for the EU. They really only
Yeah.
care about FIFA and Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, yeah. Because I was going to think about
F1.
Yeah, F1,
No,
but that's
they-
Xbox.
Yeah,
that's
they don't.
Xbox, yeah.
It's not as big. I mean, it's big as far as the actual sport, but because of the microtransactions, that game is kind of taking a nosedive in comparison to like FIFA, which is weird because FIFA is all microtransactions. Well, no, it's not all microtransactions, but you get the gist. F1 just isn't where FIFA is at this point.
Right. Have a good night, Talos.
Yeah, later, Talos.
Kalanista Talos.
So we know that they've got to have more Game Pass deals in the works. We know that the family plan hasn't launched yet. It's been in beta for forever. We know that the whole thing with Ubisoft hasn't even happened yet. There's a bunch of weird stuff that just hasn't actually happened yet on the Xbox. And it seems like Punk said, the Riot Games thing just happened, you know? Like it was a big deal before, but now all of a sudden it's just there. And I feel like 2023, we have numerous games that we know are coming, right? We know Redfall is going to happen. We know Starfield is going to happen. We know Forza Motorsport is going to happen. We know Minecraft Legends is going to happen. That's 4 first-party games already, right?
Age of Empires 4.
Age of Empires 4 is coming to console as well. You
Age
look
of Empires
at
2 is coming to
you look
console.
at you look at Monster Hunter Rise now coming to Game Pass when it launches on Xbox and PlayStation as well. So that's a win. That's a huge win for Xbox there as well. Then you look at what they're doing with PC Game Pass. All of this is boiling up, right? All we know, like we just talked about, for PlayStation, first party wise next year is Spider-Man, right? They're relying on a lot of third party deals for exclusivity. Forspoken with Square. You got Final Fantasy 16 with Square.
There's one big other first party that they're probably going to try to keep quiet as well, and that's Factions.
Is that next year? Because all they showed last year was a piece of concept art on a poster card.
They've been working. They've been working on that game for too long. Steele and I have been in this argument. Steele doesn't think it's coming next year.
I don't think it's coming next year.
I don't think it is.
If it doesn't come
it's
next
going to be
year,
a games as a service.
It's them intentionally holding it back.
I don't think it's going to happen next year.
Yes, it's happening next year. It's one of their surprises for next year.
We'll see. I hope so. I hope so because
if they do announce it, it'll be after the ABK deal goes through. Then they'll announce. Then they'll have a huge fucking show showing everything that they got, all the marketing deals that they've been.
They can sell. They can sell hopes and dreams too. Just you
just get Troy Baker to just stay on stage.
Yeah, use Troy Baker. But Psycho, they do another 2018, right? They or a 20 whatever it was, the big one that they did 2016, 2017, whatever it was when they sold hopes and dreams
with the flute.
Yeah, because because Barlog's been working on his new IP for a very long time now.
And then when they showcase that trailer, it'll probably blow people's minds.
It's going to blow people's minds. If it's a sci-fi game from Cory Barlog, it's going to be gigantic. So yeah, all that stuff, that's exactly what they're going to have. They're going to have a giant showcase selling hopes and dreams, and then the little sprinkles of stuff that they got, like Spider-Man 2, Factions, all that kind of stuff mixed in there. That's what
they'll probably get some Wolverine trailer again that actually show more of what that game is too, right?
So it's going to go from his claws and then up to his face, and then it fades out.
But so I think that right now though, like Xbox has clearly got more in 2023 than PlayStation does, first party wise.
100%.
Xbox probably got some more other Game Pass deals they got in the works as well. Wins like Monster Hunter Rise. Next year is going to be a big year period for games with all these AAA third-party games, as well as the variety of other stuff just coming out like crazy next year. It's going to be insane. But
see Jez's little footnote on Diablo 4 today?
Yeah, potentially open beta.
Well, and supposedly they're going to be giving out stuff to the media to be able to play as well. And then there's that report that it's April that they're shooting for, but then Jez said he also heard June.
Yeah.
So I get a stack Diablo 4, Starfield, and everything else.
It's
It's gonna be
fucking insane.
And by
It's
that time-
February. How do you guys not know it's February is when it's coming out?
by that time, by June, like Diablo will be a Xbox property.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
No.
It's gonna be crazy.
and it's crazy,
What-
right? So
Yeah,
and add that to the list, though. Seriously, though, when we talk about Redfield, Starfield, Forza Motorsport,
You can't add that to the
Minecraft
list.
Legends,
Xbox did
Diablo.
not help make that game.
Fuck that shit. I'm sick of that.
Yeah.
Like, come on, really? Okay.
It's gonna
I'm
be in
not even
Game
gonna go
Pass, so
there.
it counts.
Now hold on. Now have you the Game Pass games for December? That's only half. That only goes up to the 15th, I believe. They haven't announced the other half. So what are they going to
Yeah.
wait to after the
Few
awards?
Christmas surprises.
That's
I
what
think they've
I'm
blown
saying.
their budget for December already.
No, I think they're going to announce some more things after the fact, the second half of December at the Game Awards, that will be big enough to keep Xbox gamers happy, but not a big enough splash announcing like their first party games, so they can still stay kind of like under the radar.
Oh, what else?
If that's
No.
what Xbox is trying to fucking do,
I don't know
guys.
what else they could bring in December. December's already a stellar month for Game
Yeah.
Pass if all this launches. So
Yeah.
high on
So
life
you
and
got 2
stuff.
more weeks. I mean, the only thing I could see is like the new games that have been released so far.
I
like,
think they have to go back earlier in the year. Like
Like what though?
mm,
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring for Christmas.
Oh
Elden
my
Ring.
god! If they pulled that off and put Elden Ring for
'Cause it-
Christmas and Game Pass,
well, because
That'd
they are
be
announcing
massive.
possibly the DLC for Elden Ring.
DLC for
So
Game Pass.
imagine if Xbox gets Elden Ring in the Game Pass, then
Dying Light 2 maybe?
announce the DLC. Possibly.
That would be it. That'd be a total gut punch to Sony if From did that. After Sony invested in From Software earlier, like
Yeah.
if they gave it the Game Pass before PlayStation Plus, oh my god.
yeah. If it gets announced for PlayStation Plus, it's a huge win. Also,
Yeah, that would be huge.
either way, it's a big
That I
win
could see happening.
for
That I
either
could see
company.
But no games matter but Call of Duty for Sony. So everything
Yeah,
else
that's
sucks.
true. That is true.
There's definitely something to Elden Ring
First
because
party
that's one of
sucks.
those that's on
Sorry.
that cloud streaming deal where you got it for free at some point earlier in the year through Xbox as well.
Interesting.
Pi
Yeah.
Family Game Pass.
But
Yeah,
okay,
family.
so add into this fact that Xbox killed it with the holiday sales this year, even in the UK, right? The UK, 42% was Switch, 40% was Xbox,
Yep.
18% was PlayStation in the UK for the holiday sales.
Yep.
That is a big deal, right? Selling on the backs of the
Huge.
Call of Duty bundle, and the Series S price point, right, as well. Think maybe those people don't like the price increases on those PS5s right now, because I talked about how much extra production they were going to get. You're starting to hear stories of them sitting on shelves even during the holidays right now, because they upped the production, but now they're getting killed by Xbox and the Switch for Black Friday and across the world. So it's pretty damn interesting where this is heading from now into next year. Now you add in the avalanche of games, right? Because this is happening without those games, right? It's happening without all that stuff. You add in the avalanche of games in 2023. You add in more Game Pass deals. You add in all of this stuff. And then you compare it to what we know about Sony right now, which is just those couple games, or maybe just the one first party. And I'm not trying to say that PlayStation's in trouble, right? But I think that market share that they've been losing, they're going to lose a lot more, right? And I think Xbox could potentially take the year next year in general, right? Unless there's a new Switch.
Well, those
Zelda.
40% of people like some of them are going to go back to school after Christmas or whatever and be like, what'd you get for Christmas? And they'll be like, oh, I got an Xbox. And be like, man, I'm going to get one for my birthday now because you got one. So it's like, it's just going to keep building.
Well, you can get it for $250. And if you even cheaper, if you attack at the right time, like it is crazy. I on FSP, I went like on a love rant about the Series S, right? Maybe it got a little creepy. I don't know, but I freaking the Series S is absolutely amazing. And Colt said it last night on PM and the PM, like between the Series X and the PS5 and stuff, they haven't really done a lot of exciting things yet. But he said that the Series S is exciting because of what it can do for the price point and the size and everything of that console. And he's right with that, because the Series S is at a point to where it could be in more households as either a second console or either the primary console, a casual console,
Or just a potato.
or a streaming box, or whatever you use it for. It is getting close. It is getting that close to that. Just like
over there with the price increase on the PS5, you're talking about a $300 price point at $250 between the PS5.
Plus the games
and
are more
Series X.
expensive too.
Plus the games are more expensive, but you're talking about
And subscription service.
$300 when people are struggling right now, especially over there with the heating costs and everything else that's been going on top of just natural inflation that we've got going on. That is a seller instantaneously for families. There is no doubt about it. Again, you will do what you have to do to make your kids' Christmas special. But when you walk in that store and you see that $300 price point, and then you learn about Game Pass and you do the simple math in your head and go, a Series S with that $300 savings, that's almost 2 years of Game Pass Ultimate. Almost. Not quite, but almost 2 years, 20 months of Game Pass Ultimate that I can give my kids with 400 plus games on there. Like,
and the new games are going to be in the service. That's the key.
Yes.
And it's not like a random, like, what games are going to show up, right? That's just why I felt like it would be a misstep for those that previously announced games not to show up again right now.
But that's why you announce stuff in the 12 months, though, and not stuff 4 years in advance.
Yeah, but the Game Awards is such a big stage, right? The Game Awards is such a big stage because the people that don't have Xboxes watch it, right? It's for the PlayStation diehards, the Nintendo diehards, the casual gamers, just anybody interested in gaming will watch it, right? And that's why they've showcased Hellblade 2, and they've made other announcements at the Game Awards. They showed Perfect Dark there before, and like that's why I understand why everybody's saying that they're not potentially going to have anything there, but for me, like, it's like, what's the risk versus reward? Because like, you have such a high potential if you just showcase the games, like Psycho was saying, that you already have announced, avowed. Perfect.
But the counterpoint, Mav, is the stats that you just point out. They're killing it with no games and no announcements right now.
Yes,
right?
I understand.
So
I'm not saying they don't need to, but could you imagine the effect if they did?
Right, but that's what they're saying. But you got to, from a business standpoint, if it honestly is a big risk, if the attorneys are saying, no, you can't do this, we got to lay
they're
low.
Getting legal.
Yes,
people saying you can't,
which
do
they
this.
are. Which they are.
Yeah.
They absolutely 100% are. So if that's happening and they look at those stats and they go, sure, Game Pass slowed down a little bit for consoles, but oh well, look at the numbers we just put up for the holidays everywhere, right? Like, without any of our first party, without any announcements, without any big stuff outside of E3 and a little bit of Gamescom, we're still killing it right now. We're not going to rock the boat. We'll announce that all next year. It's going to be a gigantic party once this ABK deal goes through. We'll roll out the red carpet. We'll show these people what they've been waiting for next year.
But also, if Xbox is really going in this Game Pass route, like, do you want to announce something that's 4 years in advance on your subscription service? Or do you want to announce something that's going to be in the next few months?
I want them to update us. Yeah. I want them to update us on the games that they've
within a
already
year.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I think it's just a shift in marketing strategy. I don't think it necessarily has anything to do with it.
And I agree, could be, Jasper, but to Mav's point, the next 12 months, if you're looking at it from the Games Awards, that's next December. So if we haven't gotten anything for the fall next year, right?
Yeah.
We haven't gotten any announcements for the fall. Everything we saw was up through June.
Yeah, and that's what they did at E3. You know what I mean? So they're gonna just rehash the same E3 again. Like, I mean,
give us a 6 months update.
Oh my God. If that becomes the new marketing strategy, I don't.
Like, I don't mind if they don't show us the stuff 4 years out. I don't mind that stuff. But
Yeah.
like 2 years, I want to see. Or
well, that's how
a rolling 12 months. I do kind of expect to start seeing things like what's coming out. Like,
they've been doing the 2-year mark up until this point.
Kind of, but Fable and Perfect Dark.
Fable, Perfect Dark,
Fable, Perfect Dark,
yeah,
Hellblade. That wasn't 2 years.
Those games were coming earlier before COVID, and how bad this all was. Yeah,
no, they weren't.
Fable was not even anywhere near like Fable hadn't even like really started production, had full production yet, and like I. In a perfect world, 2023 could have been maybe potential for those, but I don't know.
I mean, they had a. I mean, because that was what the 2020 E3 they announced.
We all thought they were we all thought because they've been teased so much.
That though. They had to show those games because
they had no other games to show.
What am I going to look forward into this Xbox generation? Because how bad the last generation was for Xbox. So they wanted to show, hey, this is coming out. It's going to be there. It's going to take some time. Here,
Yeah, but that's my point. Though, Psycho. It's been 2.5 years since we've seen those games. Period. In any form or fashion. We have not seen those games
but
anywhere else at all.
But this isn't just
Matt
Xbox.
Booty wants to show Fable, but the team said no, not yet.
Okay, right, Psycho. You believe that? Come on.
But this isn't just an Xbox
if
problem.
Matt Booty and Phil want to show
Nintendo's
Fable,
had this
they show
problem
Fable.
with Metroid. So it's just like this is just Ubisoft's had this problem with Beyond Good and Evil. It's just a gaming industry.
I don't want to compare Xbox Studios to Beyond Good and Evil whatsoever.
There's nothing to compare to Beyond Good and Evil. This is
just
Duke Nukem Forever level.
Some of these games that get announced, like they just go away for a few years. Like you just gotta.
No, and I don't disagree with your point, Jester, because we've talked about this. Like I said, after the E3 kind of fallout and like everything had settled, we had those discussions where I was like, hey, if this is what they're gonna do, I'm cool with it. If they're gonna pull back from showing stuff too early, that's fine with me. We can go back to the old days where we didn't get information until it was like a couple months from release. That's fine. But again, it's got to be a rolling 12 months. Now we're another 6 months beyond. I do want to see what's coming fall of next year. I want them to sell me on what they've got for fall for sure, at least.
Yeah.
And an update on some of their bigger titles would be great. Just an update.
The ones that they already announced, at least.
Yes,
I'm not saying they got to announce more games that are coming out 4 years away.
Contraband. Where's Contraband? I mean? Where's Contraband?
Yeah.
Contraband's
been in
we thought
production
it was further
for
along. 3 years,
that
4 years.
Early.
It's been 3 or 4 years since they started working on 3 years, I should say. Since they started working on it. They got to have some gameplay for us, Fuzzy, at this point.
I mean, Starfield started at the end of Fallout 4, they said.
In 2016.
Yeah. Well,
but that's
Bethesda.
Yeah. But that's I mean,
storyboard, trying to figure out what we're going to do, stuff like that. So,
well, I mean, but that stuff even started before then. They with a smaller team, but like the full production, like bigger production for Starfield started in 2016. But you're talking about a monster beast of a game with Starfield, and you're also talking
plus
about
a brand new engine,
and also you had COVID mixed in there, which caused
plus a brand new engine,
Yeah, that game a 6-year development
plus
cycle,
1,000 planets,
7-year development cycle. Does not seem to stretch. How long did it take for them to make God of War 2018?
That was DLC though.
Not God of War 2018, not this. Wasn't
2018?
Yeah, wasn't it like supposedly like
5 years?
Several
4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
no, it was 5 years,
and that's without COVID. You know what I mean?
But it got delayed. It was supposed to come out 20.
And look at how that game is like a linear focus story type game,
right?
You know what I mean? Yeah. Imagine making a new universe. Like they can't use like assets again like they did with Elder Scrolls or like with Fallout. You're making everything from scratch with Starfield. I mean, it's a brand new world. I mean, that goes into the lore, that goes into world building, that goes into the names of, like, there's no Tamriel to put your lore based on. You know
yeah,
what I
you're right.
mean?
There's Earth.
Well, there's more than Earth. There's like 1,000 planets. There's just so much to build with Starfield. So the fact that game's taken so long does not surprise me.
And Bethesda's process is different from a lot of places. Like the games are so detailed.
But we got
like
frequent updates on Starfield since 2016. Even several Todd Howard interviews, several different trailers. They mentioned it at different E3s and stuff like that. So has that been any question about where is Starfield? Oh my God, nobody knows where it is. That's never happened.
Mav, nobody knows what it is yet.
Yeah.
So.
People did used to say, why are you even excited for Starfield?
They still do. They still do.
Yeah.
They still do.
I don't get it. Well, hey, everybody. I want to say thanks again. We got 96 people hanging out here. Amazing community. I appreciate everybody watching. If you do like the content here, hit the like button, share and subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate all the channel members as well, all the support that is shown for everybody here on Fun Speculation and all of our shows.
And Alvin, it took them 7+ years and 2,000 devs to make The Last of Us 2 because they had to figure out how they were going to kill off one of the best dad characters ever in history and ruin that game. That's what
it took 2,000 people to figure out a story.
Yes, it did.
It's because they all had an argument about it.
And after all that, Jasper, they came up with a golf club. Congratulations.
Oh, okay.
Right. Google says, but Microsoft didn't make it, Mav. Oh, gosh. Yes, yeah. I understand that Xbox gets no credit for Starfield. They get no credit for Psychonauts 2. They get no credit for
they help finance. Like,
what was the other games that
they're gonna say the same
Tokyo.
shit with Gears of War 6 and anything else. Like, Xbox doesn't make their own games anymore.
Halo doesn't count because
Returnal
343 made
right?
it, so it's just like
Halo.
Who made Spider-Man? Was it
Insomniac?
Yeah,
Insomniac.
But
Sony shouldn't get any credit for that, right?
Hey, newsflash: when they made the first Spider-Man, they weren't yet owned by PlayStation.
Yeah, but Sony gets credit for Sunset Overdrive. So
yeah, it's anyway. Just putting that out there. All right, so hey everybody, this channel and the show is sponsored by Manscaped. So I want to say thank you to Manscaped, our amazing sponsor. And are you ready for this wonderful ad for Manscaped? I hope you are. But everybody, listen up. 'Tis the season for clean balls. Fa la 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 la. Our friends at Manscaped are helping you clear your driveway for safe travels this holiday season. From stocking stuffers to white elephants, Manscaped's products are at the top of every wish list. Grab some crop mops for your pops or the body buffer for the holiday lover. Win this year's white elephant gift and help all the men in your life go from eggnog to nice hog this December by going to manscaped.com and using code FUNSPECULATION for 20% off plus free shipping. Again, great products. They're quality. I gotta say, they smell nice. If you put
your balls,
it smells like mistletoe. Yeah,
that's not the flavor I got.
It's not the flavor you got. Oh, Kate,
No.
Kate said it makes her want to kiss.
Whoa,
So, yeah,
your balls or your lips?
not gonna say.
Okay.
Her girlfriend when he hangs.
They're
them
both
there 'cause
they're
it
both
smells like
smooth at
mistletoe.
this point. So what does it matter, Pong? It's like the same thing.
Caitlin says it smells like toe. You're lying.
It smells like toe.
Whoa.
Oh no, that's
Big toe. Yeah, give her the big toe.
But everybody, remember, get 20% off and free shipping with the code FUNSPECULATION at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code FUNSPECULATION. Manscaped. Get your jingle balls ready for the holidays. Fa la 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 fa balls. All right, so
Vic, there's nothing wrong with curiosity, brother. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with it. I'm sure you've tasted some things too.
what?
What's
Whoa.
happening?
What's
Vic
happening?
said, "Why are you tasting it?"
Why am I tasting?
Wow.
Because he
It's
said
not-
it tastes.
Oh, did I say taste? Did I
No,
say
because
taste?
I said flavor. I said flavor. That's why.
Okay.
He's
okay,
playing off
I
of
got
that.
you.
Would you watch Generation X?
But that code, if you use that code, everybody, it does make a good white elephant gift too. If you give somebody some ball deodorant, you know what I mean. It's a good thing. But also, if you do use that code, it does help the channel as well, right? And they got great products too. So don't be shy. Don't be shy. You know, it's okay. It's okay to trim the tree.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
You'll feel much better afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Make sure you trim it up
Yeah.
so this way you can activate your partner's got 3000 mode.
Not everything needs a winter coat. Not everything
No.
does.
No, it needs that mid fade.
Mid fade. Right on. All right, so yeah, let's get back into this. So 2023. What are y'all like? This is a stupid question. I was about to ask.
Are you
Starfield.
actually gonna ask us what you
Like,
most
Starfield.
anticipated?
What are y'all most excited about? No, I wanted to get into
Starfield?
I wanted to get
Oh.
into how much Starfield might dominate 2023 because of Todd Howard's interview, right?
Clutchman just came through with a super chat. If you want to read that one.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. Let's get to that. Clutchman01 with the $5 super chat. I absolutely appreciate that, Clutchman. And he asked a question: could Microsoft be holding gameplay and reveals till E3 next year, since they're anticipating in-person interactions with their games on the show floor? That's an interesting question because we've heard from different people, journalists that are credible, that have played vertical slices or seen seen vertical slices of some of these games that have been updated. Games like Avowed and stuff like that. So based on the fact that we know there's new vertical slice type gameplay out there that's been shown to journalists or at least leaked to journalists, that lets me think that they do have gameplay they could show. Because if you got a vertical slice, you can make a gameplay trailer out of that or something. You know what I mean? Why they wouldn't show it? Sometimes the devs say we're not ready to or whatever. Sometimes could be other reasons. But the fact that, you make a good point about next year's E3 being in person, an actual big gaming event with gamers there and journalists all getting hands-on with a lot of these things. That could be a big push for them in prepping for E3 next year to blow the doors off the place. And hopefully the ABK deal will be done and completed at that time so they don't have to hold anything back. And could you imagine the impact of that going to, let's talk about that for a second. 2023, right? Let's say this ABK deal's done. Everything's no holding back, nothing anymore. You got all these gameplay trailers or demos that you can start showcasing. You got gameplay or you got new game announcements and everything. Could 2023 be Xbox's biggest E3 ever?
As long
I
as the
think it will be.
ABK deal goes through, yes, it will be a massive, because there's things that they have not announced that they were either wanting to or have some kind of deals put through that they just said, you know what, we're right now let's just keep everything hush hush. I think once that ABK deal
Bitch,
does
that's 5
go
hours
through,
old.
it will be
We saw those
huge.
last month.
What are you talking about?
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Sorry, Psycho. Keep going.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Proceed.
Proceed.
Yeah, it'll be big.
It'll be big. Okay.
Jasper, you ruined his whole flow. Way to go.
It's all right. I didn't even hear what you said, Jasper. What'd you say?
It's just a DM. There's apparently a leaked video of a Transformers cutscene or something. And Pong said this old info. I was like, bitch, that video is 5 hours old.
Oh, yeah.
That's the same. It's the
Oh,
same
yeah.
video we saw like a month ago when they first started
Yeah,
talking.
we like to bust each other's balls in the DMs. We have this thing, guys, because we always share news with each other, and it's fucking hilarious because it happens all the time. One of us will share something that somebody else did like an hour before, or like even 5 minutes before, or 5 seconds before. But the amount of shit that we give each other for being second to the amount of shit that we give each other for like repeating somebody else's post, it's fucking hilarious. And Psycho started it. Psycho was like would post stuff from like 3 days ago
After you wake up.
yeah, like from his like
Yeah, but
Or
I
his-
get up and I wake up late, and then because I didn't go to bed till like 4 in the fucking morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, after you got
And-
out of your Dave Matthews Band concert, went and banged your neighbor's banged your neighbor's mom, and then you get home and
Exactly.
you wake up at 4 o'clock the next afternoon. You're like, oh shit, Xbox bought Activision. I gotta let everybody know.
Exactly.
But what that means, Psycho, is that you don't take the time to appreciate what we've posted in the DM. So you don't
Right.
scroll back and catch up. You just go, oh, I got breaking news. I gotta post it.
Well, because usually it pops up on my feed, and then I'm like, oh shit, I gotta tell the guys, and then oh fuck.
No, but to Psycho, to get back on track, to your point though, which you were making about E3 next year, yes, all the stuff that they are withholding, they could absolutely do for E3 if the ABK deal goes through, right? That's going to be a huge celebration unto itself. But all this stuff that is in the traffic jam
Yes.
is being held up. Absolutely, E3 could be the place where they just absolutely drop bomb after bomb on us that they've been withholding this entire time. Not that they, again, that's common sense, but we thought last year's E3 was going to be huge, and look at what they did. They pulled the rug out from underneath us, right? So it was still a great show, obviously, but they didn't do what we expected them to do last year. But I think you're right, Psycho. If the ABK deal is closed by then, and they can just go, finally, or we can talk about all the stuff we want to talk about. Yeah, we could get the gameplay that Mav was talking about that, that's been hidden this entire time because they don't want to make any waves right now. I agree with
But
you.
I would say that you don't get any Activision's becoming like part of that E3 show. It's going to be a couple more years, I would say, because you still have to deal with all those exclusive deals that they've already signed with
Sure.
PlayStation. You still got to do with all that. They still got to make more games.
But they
so,
can
like,
announce all the Game Pass games coming in.
Yeah.
The
So you can get the
ABK.
Game Pass stuff, but like I don't see them like, you know how they have right now with like Bethesda and Xbox show. I don't know
Sure,
if they
sure.
add Activision into that just yet for the next
there-
year's E3.
No, but there could be small things, or Phil could walk out and simply state StarCraft.
Yeah,
is
that's
coming back.
exactly what I was
that-
saying. Yes,
right?
you read my mind, dude. That's like if Phil
would be
getting
like-
to say that, come out wearing a StarCraft
Yes.
T-shirt. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
Even that symbol alone, he didn't even say anything about StarCraft. If he just
Right.
shows up wearing a StarCraft T-shirt,
T-shirt.
Right.
It's on. It's
Yeah,
on like Donkey
100%.
Kong at that point. Oh yes. Yes.
Do you think we're gonna get information about Indiana Jones at next year as well? Because it seems like from Todd and what's going on like behind the scenes right now that game is kind of getting into kind of full production mode. With Machine Games, with was it Jens Anderson, I believe, right? Formerly of Starbreeze, Chronicles of Riddick.
This is a big hire. People don't
Yeah.
realize it.
Um,
The younger generation, especially.
I kind of
Yeah.
don't think we get that. Like, I think we probably get more info about that at another show before Xbox's show, just like some random thing.
I don't know. I get this impression
I could
that
I could
we
see it
get
be like
some-
a Comic-Con or some like
If
Disney
it's
event or something.
exclusive, it comes.
Yeah, if it's exclusive to Xbox, they may
Yes.
save it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead, Fuzz. What were you gonna say?
No, I was going to say I think they wait to show any gameplay or anything further until the movie is closer to release, type of deal. Like I think was it June that the movie comes out?
Yeah.
So I think that's when we see the first gameplay. Now, whether it's at E3 or like, the movie trailers that you see when you're in the theater type of deal, I think that's when it gets shown. Now, as
But
far
this
as
game
exclusivity-
has nothing to do with this movie. It's like it's a completely different story. And
Oh
stuff,
yeah,
so.
it definitely. But they're going to
Or
use
is
their
it?
advantage from what they've learned from
Yeah.
Sony and
The hype.
other,
Yeah.
like was it metaverse type things or multiverse type things where it's like, oh yeah, go ahead and have some synergy between the movie and the game, even though it's not going to follow that same timeline or whatnot. But while people are actually actively going to the movie or pursuing seeing the trailer, hey, let's put the gameplay out there and get some hype up for that as well. So
we got another super chat from Alvin.
Mhm.
$5. Appreciate you, bro. He says Phil Spencer StarCraft Ghost tattoo on his bicep at E3
Peter
or
Moore
we
style.
riot. Yeah, let's go.
Phil does not seem like the tattoo guy to me at all.
No.
Temporary one.
Temp tattoo? That'd be insane.
Yeah.
Let's say he's got like tattoos all over his body. So he rolls up his sleeve.
He's got a full
he's
back
got, like,
tattoo, and we just don't know it.
He's got like 10 games on his sleeve, right? He's got
Right.
like StarCraft there, and you got like
And the other side is all the studio purchases
Yeah.
that they've been holding back.
That's right. That's another thing. After the ABK deal gets done, is there stuff that they wanted to do, some smaller deals that they could execute on,
Square.
things like
Absolutely.
that?
Yep.
Square Enix is not a smaller deal, but that would be insane.
It's smaller than Activision.
If-
IO, certain affinity. Oh man, that would be freaking.
I will tell you this: if the ABK deal did get blocked for whatever reason, that would be the first thing I would do. Is I would go just offer the fucking moon to Square Enix just to shove it in Sony's face.
Just buy Japan.
The land is the
I
right.
said that the other day
Enterprise.
too, Mav. 100%. If that ABK deal does not go, I'd be the pettiest, and that'd be the spot that I would hit Sony the hardest. I would just go turn around and buy Square. I'd just be like, fine, here we go.
Yeah.
Now have fun.
And then
enjoy your last
exclusive
Final Fantasy
content for like the next 6 years.
Yep. Enjoy
Start
your last
so they
Final
can't
Fantasy.
get one
That's it.
AAA.
Make a new studio, right? Call it ex Sony Devs Studio, and send contract offers to Corey Barlog, Drew Murray again. Come back to Xbox. Like all the top talent at all the Sony studios. Just send them all
Buy
like
'em.
massive contract offers
Just buy 'em.
to come and work together on a new
Imagine if
studio.
they bought Drunkman. They brought him
Dill
over.
Druckmann. Yeah, just by every fucking major Sony studio executive and talent they have there, and just make like the biggest third-person action adventure game ever made. You know what I mean? And call it FU. Call it FU Pony the game.
No, it'll be almost all of us, the game.
Yeah.
Almost all.
Almost all of us the game. Call it not Call of Duty. I mean, they could. I mean, really though, like there's so many things that Xbox could do like next year, and I can't wait for it. I think they're going to dominate, but I want to get into Starfield because Todd dropped a lot of Todd nuggets in there, and this game, bro, this game. People say, "Why are you excited about Starfield?" Because it does like it doesn't have God of War graphics or stuff,
Why did somebody's grandma show up?
I don't know.
Why did the old man from Family Guy just show up here?
We didn't offer us any popsicles.
Hello, guys. Starfield's gonna be a fucking monster. I mean, I think Xbox would have potential like a game of generation on their hands next year. I mean, it could be speaking too soon. I don't know, but look at Skyrim, right? Skyrim is still played by a lot of people today. It's been released on everything, right? Starfield is the next big creation like that, except bigger, going further than they've ever gone before. And when they were talking about taking inspiration from like Elder Scrolls games like Daggerfall and stuff like this to like, I mean, this is going to be a different beast than people got in that trailer that people tried to pick apart. You can't really emphasize what's all in the game like this from like simple gameplay clips, right? It's gonna be absolutely insane. Jasper, because you're a space nut,
Yeah.
I know you were probably geeking out over this interview, right?
Yeah.
What was, because they had a lot of space talk and stuff like that about like, what was your biggest takeaways about that interview?
I mean, he talked about like kind of basing it off our space technology now. So that's just kind of cool where you're getting to see the like what our future could look like, kind of more relative. Like it's not going to be like Star Wars. Our future isn't going to be like Star Wars anytime soon. So it's like just seeing like the evolution of humans in like a game and it's like space, like I just love space stuff. But I'm just more interested in the aspect of like there can be so many like Easter eggs in this game with just like NASA lore that we have now. Like if this game's like 300 years in the future, whenever it takes place, like you could just be like flying your spaceship and come across the Voyager like space probe, like hundreds of millions of miles away, and just pick it up and then return it back to Earth as like a mission.
Yeah.
That's so fucking cool to like pick up something we launched in 1970 and just take it back to Earth in Starfield. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane. They talked about how they're going to have to dumb down the AI a little bit because how dominant it would be over us if they actually like went as far as they could with it as well. Even going into like the robots and stuff like that, because Todd was saying that if they really like projected where they think like the AI and the robots and stuff will be at that point, like it could break the game. Like it's just like it just dominate the human race or something pretty much if they wanted it to.
The interesting dev part that I picked out was he said that they have it like an AI script that they constantly run, like every time there's a new build that it runs like the first 2 missions or whatever, and then there's like other sections that they like run.
These bots
I thought that was
like,
really interesting.
play through the whole games and shit like constantly. Kate wants me to sound like the son on Family Guy. I don't know if I can do that. I'm sorry. So what about Yupong? Like I mean, you were geeking out over it, of course, as well. I mean, it was a great interview, right?
Best
Fantastic.
interview Todd's ever done, by far.
I listened to it twice on my way back to Florida.
Nice.
Yep.
So what's your like? Did it elevate your excitement at all? I mean, it was possible. Was it possible to elevate your excitement for Starfield?
It is to a certain degree, because as I said last night on PM and the PM, I actually think this game is bigger and trying to do things beyond even what somebody like myself is expecting or hyping. From Todd, the way that Todd's talking about this game, they're talking about using decades of knowledge that they've gathered and learned from between generational games in Fallout and Elder Scrolls. And he's talking about using that knowledge that they've gained all those years and realizing, not just after like Fallout 3, but realizing after Skyrim how long people spend their time in their games and wanting to make Starfield. Like that's one of the philosophies that they took into Starfield was like, we know people are going to be playing this game, and of course Todd said hopefully. But
I mean,
we all
you can
know.
see that with their games now. Like,
right, you can see it now.
Skyrim, they added like a build a house DLC, and then Fallout 4 is native in there, so it's like
but taking all of that, right, and everything they learned from Fallout 4 with the building and making it even more expansive here in Starfield. And when he starts talking about the other big thing that I took, and I said this last night with Colt, was the AI. Not the AI, the scripting AI that they run, but he talked in depth about how they do the AI and that they're one of the only devs out there that in this type of open world sandbox game that they still have their other AI, even when you're not in that area doing things. Now he said it's obviously dramatically peeled back from what it would be if you were like in that town, but that AI is still running. And he said that that's part of the dynamic that you get when you start like a quest in a whole separate area, and then you wind up that quest intersects with this AI that's been running still. That's where you get those moments that you don't get out of any other game. And then he talked about that they're looking down into the future, that they want the AI to actually have goals and to actually have purpose within the world, so that you just don't feel like you're going to the guilds to get quests, and that you already know, my whole time here with this guild is me getting quests from them and eventually getting to a point where I take over the guild. And he said that he wants it eventually that the guild, let's say the Mages Guild, actually has their own goals in the world, so that when you're not even interacting with them, the Mage Guild is doing things that could be
so when I get my wife, like in Skyrim, she'll actually use my money and go out and buy stuff.
Right, exactly. You come back home to a fully furnished home, but all your gold's gone, right?
Yeah.
So I think that we start seeing that here in Starfield, because he talked about extensively how they've been looking down the road to do this. And I think that Starfield, all devs do this when they start thinking about new technology and where things are going and what they want to try. Their next game is usually where they start experimenting stuff with. So I think that Starfield is going to be the start of that experiment, because we got hints about it. He talked about how you can go travel to a star system and all of a sudden, you'll come across freighters who are shipping freight. Well, those freighters will reach out to you, and you don't know for sure what they're, we don't know what that's going to be. Right. And they got the pirates involved. So if that's what he's talking about, and we're going to get to that point where we start seeing some of this advanced AI in Starfield, which I believe we will, then that's going to add a whole new dynamic level to what we all already say is the best sandbox, or most of us, not everybody agrees, but the biggest, most expansive sandbox RPG experience that you can have is from Bethesda. That's going to take this to a whole nother level. If I wind up flying into a system that I was not even into, and all of a sudden there's some huge battle going on because two factions have started warring with each other, now all of a sudden I'm thrown in the middle of it while I'm on one of the other missions, well, that's a whole different thing here, right? So I think that's go ahead.
I was going to say, it will be interesting to see if they can actually get this to pay off, because this is kind of the same promises that Cyberpunk had.
Correct.
But so I'm just wondering if the technology in these last 2 years or whatever has come to the point where they can actually introduce that.
And a lot's going to be with the creation engine. And that's what I'm saying. If there's, again, Todd always, and he admitted it, he admits it in every interview basically. And this is the problem that I have, that people that shred, Bethesda or shred Todd Howard and call him a liar. Yes, there's plenty of video out there where you can say he overpromised and underdelivered, right? A lot like Peter Molyneux used to do at Lionhead, right? People used to come down on Peter for doing the same thing. But as David Jaffe said on his podcast last month, when he, went after his chat for saying that, when he showed one of the question and answer sessions they had with Todd, and his chat blew up and was talking about, oh, Bethesda, Todd's a liar, blah, blah, blah. And he said, I want people in this industry that want to shoot that far out. And if they don't hit there, right, if they don't hit there, but they push that bar further because they were shooting for, for really far out there stuff, that's what we need in this industry. And that's why, Todd, if there's one team, and you're right, Jasper, they're probably not going to hit on everything that we could possibly conceive of or that Todd wanted to. But what I'm saying is that if there's one team that is going to move this genre forward, it's going to be Bethesda. If there's one team that I had to pick out of all the devs out there to start a brand new IP, and that's the one thing that is interesting here. With Fallout, they had all the lore built from them from In Exile. Now, of course, they added their own and they changed things and they took it to a whole new style. So that was, that's awesome. And that's something to be commended, because they took a top-down, CRPG and turned it into a first-person game. So that's to be commended. Elder Scrolls, they've been working on Elder Scrolls for decades, so that all the lore is built in there. They've got a lot of the pieces. Starfield's brand spanking new from scratch. And yes, Todd's had the idea in his head, but they are building the IP from scratch, brand new. If there's one team that I want doing that I can say that I have the utmost confidence that it's going to be generational type game, just like Skyrim, just like Fallout was, it's this team right here. So when I hear Todd talking about this, I am extremely confident. And again, this interview was amazing from top to bottom, even the non-gaming stuff. We got to hear Todd's inner thinking deeper than we have before. It was so insightful on the whole process that whole team goes through. And for anybody that wants to hear about dev work, at least how Bethesda does it, he runs through the entire steps that they follow through to get from start to end. And it's really interesting. But I think that this team right here is got the generational game on their hands. I have zero. Again, there's a lot of places that it could trip up. It could come out and be the most unpolished Bethesda game, which would be saying a lot. It could be terrible. People could be complaining about it, whatever else. But at the end of the day, if I had to lay down my money on a game that was going to be generational, it would be this game. And I think Starfield is the next big one. Yeah, exactly. Xbox did. Sony wanted to purchase it for multiple years of exclusivity, if not full exclusivity. There's a reason why everybody that saw this game or that saw the idea when it was a few years ago wanted this game. And obviously Xbox put up the money to buy ZeniMax because obviously bigger reasons than just Starfield. But at the end of the day, this game is that system seller. And that was the other interesting part about that interview, Mav, was that when Todd talked about how this is the first time as an exclusive title, they've had to be quote unquote a system seller, and that there's more pressure on him and his team. And I thought that was really interesting because obviously, Todd doesn't show those little weaknesses, but you could see it in his face. He was like actually kind of concerned and kind of sweating over the fact that there was a lot riding on Starfield to be that game. But again, if there was a team that I had to pick out with all the pressure on them to make it, it's this team right here. So I'm excited. I'm more hyped than
I just want to explore space. Everything on top of that.
Exactly.
Well,
right. That's what I said. I just want to be able to go out. And when he talked about the planets, and he said those planets, they got leveling systems on them for the systems and stuff. That excited me. But he also talked
the tiles,
about,
dude.
Yeah, about the tiles. But then he just said that those planets are there for you to make your own. And he just wants those to be the quiet moments that we got in certain areas of Skyrim. But now you got whole planets where you can just kind of have to yourself and explore at your own pace. And if you enjoy the different sunrises and sunsets and the moons and all, you can just sit there and enjoy that. All of that's going to be there. And I'm just thinking to myself, like Jasper, Pirate's Life for me. I can't wait to start. I can't wait to start taking over freighters. I'm going to have a whole planet full of ships that I've stolen. It's going to be freaking amazing.
You just hear like stow planet, stow away planet.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's going to be crazy when they do implement machine learning to these AIs, and they do have a mind of their own, meaning that they do daily tasks. Because if you watch the GameStack Live from 2020, 2021, they talk about machine learning, like really go in depth of what possibilities with machine learning. It's going to be insane if that's being implemented into Starfield with the NPCs. Holy shit, they can do like what Pong was saying. They can have territorial battles just out of a whim, and then you come back, like let's say like
you stole my damn chicken.
Well, a couple weeks later you come back and like where you had two factions that all the factions totally annihilated from that planet because the other, it's just ongoing and changing. That really has, it's like a life of its own.
The randomness up to another level. Like it's
exactly. And that's where I kind of got what Todd was saying. And here we are with if they're using the machine learning into using the technology to really bring their vision into us gamers. Holy shit. It's going to be a game that is going to be spoken about for it's going to be like, remember the Xbox Series X, S, and PS5 generation? Starfield is going to be that game that's going to be
the thing I think that I got from it though is that he doesn't necessarily gameplay design wise want that level of randomness in the game, right? Because when he was talking about it, he was talking about a lot about it's like Disney World in a way for the player. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
he said you have to control some
you
stuff.
You have to
be fully open.
You have to have it controlled in a sense to where, like, yes, these characters are going about their task and doing their things and stuff like that. But when you're there, they all have to react to you and stuff. And if you're like just gone and then like Earth is destroyed, right?
Well,
because,
no,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like technology, because the machine learning AI is so good that all of a sudden this one civilization starts getting so advanced that they start attacking the other civilization.
Yeah, but
wipes the other civilization away from existence. Then all of a sudden you have like intergalactic battles going on. You know what I mean? Like you get crazy. I think there's like a level of control there. You know
what I was getting out of that was controlling the aspect that if it's so open that you just won't know what to do, so you have to have some level of control. So you have like some like guidance of what to do in the game. Like I think that's more what he's talking about.
When they code for the machine learning, real quick, Pong, when they code for the machine learning, what they have a start to end parameters that they put in that they can go to this point, but then they can escalate into like or destroying the fucking planet type situation. They can't get that, but like taking over a territory, things like that, that might not be out of the realm of what
I just don't know if
well,
he
said that in the interview. He said that in the interview where back in, what was it, like Daggerfall, NPCs could just pick at all the chest weapons.
Yeah,
so they had
just going to bring that
roll
up.
it back.
Yeah, so they had to pull it back, and like
because the NPCs went into the treasure chest and pulled the best weapons out.
Right,
that was classic.
Yeah, so they have it to where still though that's coded in that like the NPCs will grab random weapons though, and that's something that's unique to their.
It's got to be
games,
dropped,
right?
Yeah, it's got to be dropped.
So I feel like what I took away from it is that they put a lot of these things in there to separate their games out, to make the NPCs seem more intelligent, to make them seem better and stuff. But when he was asked specifically about that question about how are these characters living their lives and stuff, you know what I mean? How far does that go? You know, and he pulled back, Todd did, at that moment, and said, well, it's not really about that. It's more about having a believable world for that when you go there for you to feel like it's a realistic world and for you to get that experience, and everybody is there to react to the player, right?
Yeah.
So in that sense, I don't know how much of the random AI stuff they're going to throw into that, because if you're talking about like,
well, I'm not talking. I don't think Psycho's. I mean, Psycho's talking about game changing stuff. Like it would change the entire game.
I think it's like people doing jobs, like
going
to work on Monday.
GTA.
You know, it's like,
having actual goals and agendas within that world, so that it seems more believable.
That's
like,
something that 2K is supposed to be working on too. With clouds,
right. And I think that we're going to get to that point where maybe somebody someday will come out with a game where absolutely everything can change. And
I just don't. I'm just not expecting that in a Starfield update in the future.
No. I'm just saying we're going to start to see a little bit more advanced AI that they're trying out, that we could see some new interactions between NPCs that we didn't see before. You know, Colt came up with the perfect example that's already in there to a certain degree when Colt told a story about Sven.
Yeah.
Right? His guy that he left at a crossroads, and Sven went back home, but then Colt couldn't find him. Like, he had left him and he had all of his equipment and he couldn't find Sven, and then he wound up in a random dragon battle near Sven's home, and some of the townsfolk had come to help, and there's Sven battling next to Colt. That was awesome. That's already a part of what they do, but I think that he was talking about expanding that out, where there was not just the common stuff, but that they did have some higher level stuff going on, where some of the more important stuff could be happening around you, even without you being there. But game changing, like world changing stuff, probably not yet. But
it's more just to make the world feel like it's alive, like kind of like what Cyberpunk kind of promised, where they were like any NPC, like you can get their phone number and interact with them, like that kind of stuff. Like, I think that's closer to reality instead of like blowing up a planet.
I just don't know if that's. I just don't know if that's machine learning. I think that's just them doing their thing.
Well, machine learning is the ability to give AI almost like.
Did they say they're using that in Starfield though?
No, they haven't mentioned machine learning yet.
Well, there's a lot.
They're working with Xbox engineers, so who knows?
Yeah, and Xbox or Microsoft is leading machine learning right now with AMD, so it's in DirectX 12 Ultimate. So it's one of those things that it's very interesting to see what they implement. I don't think it's, like I said, the machine learning AI, that's what from GameStack, that is like their definition of what the possibility it actually could do. It could have its mind of its own, but you could put it in, but as long as you put the parameters in for whatever, it could do more than just like they said, like, you know, if a character is at this point every time you go, you know, how realistic is that? So sometimes it actually can leave the town, go somewhere else, and come back at a later date, unless you go and try to hunt them down. So that's the thing. That's the one thing with machine learning that is capable. That, you know, if there's a freighter that has like special equipment, special weapons, but it's timed, that it comes around that solar system every so often. Unless you find out where it's going to be, it's like a secret. It's those little things that it's that it could do that will make the game feels special, because it's not like, oh look, it's that same AI character right there again that I passed the 15th time. It could be someone different. It could be, things are ongoing and changing slightly, not like Mav saying blowing up planets. I don't think they will. I don't think they'll put God
Death Stars in there.
Yeah,
That'd be
exactly.
amazing. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Mod.
I'm
Someone changes
wondering
all
if
planet
it'll
to a
just
Death
be
Star.
like-
Hours
Well, when you
update.
start talking about the AI have like agendas of their own,
Yep.
and like, that starts opening up the possibilities of like motivation to get stronger, to get more powerful,
Mhm.
to unlock more of the potential, and maybe make allegiances, and
Right.
you know what I mean, make enemies, and all these different scenarios. And I find that interesting,
Right.
that there could be a game like that one day. You know what I mean? Starfield, I do feel like those is based on how Todd's responses are. They open things up more than any other game. He goes into to say they want to say yes, and they want to make the world more believable, everything tangible. But I think all the choices they make within the AI
Mhm.
are their decisions, right?
Mhm.
Within programming that they do, like for the example of the AI picking up those weapons and all those things intentionally, right? Like specific things, and I think they're going above and beyond what they've ever done with Starfield before.
Correct.
I just don't know if technically that's machine learning or if it's just really good programming, right? And with
I don't
this
think
one,
they're using machine learning.
Right.
I think it's
Yeah,
just
that's what I'm
advanced
saying.
AI at
Yes.
this point.
that's what I'm saying. I like the aspect of that, but I just don't know if that's what this game is. And I think that it doesn't really matter, because when you're in this world, based on everything they had talked about, you're going to get the sense of like the characters and the dialogue and the choices matter. Like everything is going to be like very tangible and important. He even went on to talk about like romances and stuff, and like, I don't know. I think there's gonna be like full on fucking in this game. Is from what Todd sounds like. I mean, like he's like those are very special to me. He's like he feels like he likes getting that relationship and growing it, and having it pay off. Feels like he achieved something. So based on how much he's talking about how the companions are and relationship building and romances are and stuff like that, I wouldn't be surprised to see like how far that goes in Starfield.
Fuzzy, did this interview get you more hype, man?
I was already at like the mountaintop.
No, I'm at the mountaintop. You're down on the hill, Fuzzy, compared to me. So you can come
well,
up.
yeah, but it's. I think the big things are that I just want to see this game on my console, and I don't know. I there's so much stuff that he talked about that's of interest, as far as like it's not going to be as punishing with the whole fuel thing. Just overall, I think the thing that got me going the most is just that how he wants to just still keep things within, like you said, within our NASA time or our tech,
our imagination for the future.
And
reasonable future.
Reasonable future, and that's, I guess, the best aspect of it is it's not going to be your Star Wars with lightsabers and things like that. Although I would
Somebody's
have to
gonna
imagine
it.
yeah, there's going to be mods for that and stuff, but I just can't wait to see, like creating a ship, possibly getting that ship jacked from you, or finding another ship that might be more to your liking and stealing that ship from the NPCs, and just the interactions and stuff, and knowing that like if we all start a mission and basically try to take the same path, it still may wind up with different results or different interactions or occurrences and things along those lines. I think that's just the exciting parts of it, on top of what was already exciting about this game. It's just I'm to the point where it's like, come on, hurry up and let it be May or June or whenever we get this thing. Hopefully it's a little bit sooner than that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
My only real concern is just that I don't want this to be delayed till next November, but
It's not.
I'm starting to get some of those fears if this ABK thing keeps dragging on. Like they're like, oh well, it's November 11/11/23 or 11/12/23 or something type of thing. So
I want
We're
predictions
not
for
putting
months.
that out.
I want predictions for months for Starfield, for Forza Motorsport, which is another game that's going to blow people's socks off next year.
yeah,
I mean, if we think Need for Speed is pretty and we think Forza Horizon 5 is pretty, I mean, just wait till Forza Motorsport drops. It's going to be insane. And Redfall, right?
Mhm.
What are the month predictions?
February 1st for Forza, February 15th for Redfall, February 28th.
February. Might as well. Just every game release in February, period. Just let them all ballot it out,
No, I think it's probably like March is Forza, maybe May is Redfall, and then like late June is Starfield.
Okay.
Hmm.
So you go with Forza first, March, and then you said what for Redfall?
May is
May and then
maybe
June?
April. I
April.
don't know.
Okay. So you're sticking to the within the 12 months then.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Fuzz?
I'm thinking Redfall early March, like within the first week of March.
Okay.
That way it misses the whole crowd of February,
Mm-hmm.
and gets its own airtime and whatnot. The next two are the hard ones. I'm thinking whatever one comes next is going to be May. I think they skip April altogether. But I'm my gut tells me it's going to be Starfield for May, and the one that I'm probably anticipating the most, it'll be the one that's in June because they had to push it, a couple more weeks just to make sure everything is buttoned up before release. So I'm thinking that one winds up being like late June, maybe even early July, but we get at least a demo probably before E3. So
Right.
that'll be like their quote unquote saving grace for the 12-month window.
Okay. Fair enough. So you're also within the 12-month window altogether. Okay. Psycho, what about you?
Sorry, Pong, but I do think Starfield will be pushed. I'm saying I think it's possibly we'll see a September.
So you're saying Todd's lying this whole time?
No, well,
They're in polishing phase. You're saying that he's lying the whole time. They need a year for polishing, is what you're saying.
well, I think it's more than just polishing. If they really want Bethesda to be this game to be the exclamation point for Xbox, I think they're just gonna hold off. I mean,
Why
what's
not 2
3 more
years?
months?
Why not 2 years?
Well, that's
Make it the best. Put in everything. Put in landing and takeoff. Put in all of it.
Or they can't do that. That's
Fuck it. We
too
need
much.
2,000 planets. Too late. Another 3 years.
But I'm saying like 3 months past the because June. We're looking at June at the latest for Starfield if that's what they decide to do.
Yeah.
But if they 3 more months, if they delay it till September release, that kind of gives you into that fall window. Possibly do something like that. But I want to say Redfall will be probably very early, a March release, not the February because February is fucking oversaturated as it is. So I'm thinking of March, and like a May, maybe June for more Forza, maybe May for Forza Motorsports. That's where I am. Now, if they do decide to release Starfield in that 12 months window, as they said they were going to, then it will be just March will be Redfall, April will be Motorsport, and then May will be Starfield.
Okay.
They'll do the month.
Cool. I like it. Pong.
Yes, sir.
What are the 3 months?
Well, Redfall March. I think they could actually have Redfall end of January. But if it doesn't hit January, they're going to stay out of February completely. There's no reason. March. I would say I'm leaning towards March for Redfall. I'd love to say that Todd's going to have his pick of dates that he loves so much for his launches, but I don't think he's going to have that. I mean, I would love it. I already said, May 23rd, 23. That week right before Memorial Weekend would be a big launch. You'd have it out. The hype would already be rolling.
They let him pick the first date, and I let him pick the second one.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. And I just don't think he's going to have that. Yeah, I don't think he's going to have that say per se. So I think the hype would be fantastic to have up front, have Starfield out, rave reviews, hopefully. And again, for anybody who's going to be looking for reviews up front, it's not going to happen. You can go back to an article. Todd is not going to give out review codes until maybe he said 24 hours before launch. So we're not going to have early reviews. So you get everybody a chance. Reviews start rolling in a couple weeks later, right around E3 time. You get the hype going. Everybody's talking about Starfield, whatever. I think that'd be fantastic. But if I had to put money on it, I say that it's the week of E3 they launch Starfield, and they use the hype for that. Rolling into E3, depending on the ABK deal. But I think June for Starfield, if I had to put money on it, early June. I think the one that does get pushed is Forza. Just due to Turn 10's perfection, due to the fact that they admitted that they're not even going to start polishing until January. I think Forza gets pushed. I think Forza comes out in August. I would have a problem with it because, as I said in our DMs, when Psycho's been pushing this whole Starfield getting delayed, Microsoft can't lie anymore with their dates. They have to start hitting dates. And they told us 12 months for E3. It's time they start hitting that. And I know, again, I don't have a problem with delaying. If the game needs it, it's got to be delayed, so be it. But with Starfield already having one delay, you can't delay it again. I mean, it already had a date. You already moved it. You already disappointed a huge group of people out there. You got to make it. You got to have it hit. So I think that one's got to hit. Redfall, like I said, earlier, I think Redfall's been ready, way ready. So I don't think that one gets pushed. But I think Forza, you never gave a specific date on it yet. Yeah, you said it would be the next 12 months. But if you did have to push Forza until like August, I think that's the one that you do it with. And I think that's the one that makes the most sense with the time frame and how Turn 10 are absolute perfectionists. Fuzzy can tell you about that, what they go into to get those games polished as much as possible with a brand new engine. I think that's the one that does get pushed, and you can kind of sneak that one through and say, well, we never really gave a date on that one. So, but I would like to see Microsoft start hitting the things that they say they're going to hit. And I know not all of it is out in their control, but if they've delayed a lot of this stuff because of the ABK deal, you got to give your customers something. And I still think they got one. I still think they got a couple more games for the end of the year. So I don't see Starfield getting pushed to the fall. That would be, I just don't see it happening. On top of my own personal feelings about Starfield, I just don't see it happening because I think they've got Avowed or Hellblade 2 ready for the fall Christmas push. So I don't think he wants Starfield there.
Okay. Right on. Well, I put this out there, so I guess I got to answer the question as well. And there's two different worlds that we live in. The world where everybody says Xbox is holding things back because of ABK. Like, if you're holding little game trailers back, like, you're going to actually release full-ass exclusive games. You know what I mean? Like, especially the ones that are being used the most against them in the regulatory discussion. Like, so I hope that's not the case, right? I hope they're not waiting for this deal to be done. The reason I don't think they are is because they knew they predicted fiscal year 2023 when they decided the whole 12-month thing for E3, right? So they already knew that. So if they had done the 12-month thing and put those games in there, knowing they weren't going to put them out until after ABK deal, then that's just dumb, right? So I'm going to pretend like that doesn't exist.
The thing is with that, though, they have a game. They could have a game for the first 6 months, a first-party game. Like, they could have Age of Empires. They could have Minecraft Legends. They could have Redfall. They could have Starfield.
Yeah.
They could have Forza. they're going to have at least some first party games come out the first half. So
Yes, they will. But they said all those games that we saw at E3 were coming out within 12 months.
Yeah.
And that was after a year that you had no first party big games. So they got to stick to it. I'm with Pong. They got to stick to that. That's why I'm not 100% on the fact that they pushed them out this year, because at that point, what does it matter if the deal's not done yet anyway? You're releasing the game 2023 instead of 2022, but still the deal's not done yet. I don't know. However, I think I'm gonna go out on a limb. All right, I'll go big. I'll go bold here, guys. I'm gonna ruffle some feathers with this one.
Mhm.
Say Redfall, late January.
Yeah.
I think late January and
Depends
potentially
when Dark Tide is the other thing to consider too.
Yeah.
When that's ready.
I think late January, because if they are planning on hitting all three of those games in the first 6 months, it makes sense to hit the first one as soon as possible in January. So in late January, and potentially that release date could be revealed at the Game Awards.
They have Age 2 coming out the 27th, I think, of January. So
Didn't matter. They said those three games were gonna be there within 12 months. So I'm looking at separating them out a little bit. Okay. And I don't think they want to go like April, May, June. You know what I mean? So
Not necessarily, no.
I think January, I think March, and I think either May or June for the other one. The question is what falls where. I'm with Fuzzy a little bit that Forza in the polishing phase, and you too, Pong, might have needed the most polish on that. But I'm not going to go as far as to push it back into the fall.
Sure.
I'm going to say that's the May or June game.
I would love you. If this turns out, I'll love you.
And then I will say that Starfield is in
23.
March. And we get Redfall in January. I think you were right yesterday when we were talking about this, Pong, that both of those games have been pretty much done.
Yeah.
3/23/23. And I think they're more ready to go than Forza is based on the fact of what that interview said.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it takes a whole year of polishing, right? For Forza, I think they can polish it up within a few months, probably. It is a racing game, so it's not like, and they build these games out so like, I mean, they've been working on this game for a long time, you know. I know it's a new engine and stuff, but I think late May, early June for Motorsport. Like,
I love you.
Between that May 23rd date you gave to like June 15th, somewhere between that 3-week period. Then I think Starfield is late March, and then Redfall is late January.
Yep.
I mean, I hope that's the case anyway.
Yeah, so do I. 100%. That'd be best case scenario.
Yeah, that would be best case scenario. Worst case scenario is none of these games release until after the ABK deal is done, except for maybe Forza Motorsport. Because that's the one that was already Xbox exclusive beforehand and not part of any acquisitions or anything like that. So they could get away with it probably. And nobody would say anything because Forza is always a thing on Xbox, right? So, anyway, that's what I got. Regardless, 2023 is going to be fucking monstrous. And with the price point, value, Game Pass, all the other stuff they're doing, all these games dropping. Wow. I think they're going to dominate gaming for 2023. The only one that could pose a challenge would be if the Switch launches a new console. If Nintendo launches a new console next year.
I mean, if it launches next year, it'd be late next year.
Yeah, you're right. Probably. Well, you know, haven't they launched before like March or?
Yeah,
like
I think
May?
the Switch was early. I think the Switch was like March or April or something like that.
So they could do that again, right?
But I mean, we would already have it announced at this point.
You think?
They will the earliest it launches was Zelda, because
Right. When is Zelda coming out? Did they say?
Isn't that June?
Yeah,
I think.
or is it earlier? It may be June.
Yeah, that's the only thing. If there's a new Nintendo Switch out there and you have Breath of the Wild with it and maybe whatever
set
else
to launch
they
on
announce.
May 12th is when when Zelda is launching. So
Yeah, who knows? That would be the only thing. But like, other than that, I mean, I think Xbox has got next year. I mean, I don't know if they would necessarily be number one in hardware wise. Like, that's not what the metric for me is for Xbox, as it really shouldn't be for anybody.
if Starfield lands, it will be. The S will be flying off the shelves of Starfield.
It will be, yeah. But there's certain territories where it won't ever be.
Yeah, but as secondary console,
yeah,
S will be selling like crazy if Starfield hits because Bethesda's worldwide in their popularity.
Yeah.
So
but I think that Game Pass sub number is going to explode
worldwide.
You're going to see that what predicted around 29-30 million right now. You think it could like potentially get an extra 50% boost next year? 45 mil in one 15 mil in a year. 15 million in a year. You got Forza Motorsport, Starfield, Redfall,
with Family
Monster
Game
Hunter
Pass,
Rise, Family Game Pass.
Family Game Pass will put your user base up there. Yeah, you probably potentially could do 15 million.
It'll put your users up there, but it's going to lower your subscriptions.
Correct, but they don't. That's not what we're going to hear,
users,
right? It's
yeah.
going to be it's going to be users.
40,000 users.
Yeah, correct.
Or something along those lines.
Yeah, if the ABK deal closes and all that gets to drop in there and all that.
Diablo 4 Game Pass.
Diablo 4 Game Pass. Yeah, I could see that. I could see 15. I could see it.
Could
for sure. Yeah, Ubisoft Plus. Maybe that's why they haven't announced Ubisoft Plus because they actually do have a deal.
No,
or Ubisoft is just so shit work that they can't get anything out.
No, I'll probably tell you off camera.
Okay.
I got some info on why.
Oh, okay, Fuzz. All right.
Juicy.
All those division bug reports you send in.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chad. You guys don't get to hear it.
Former division guy left and went somewhere else, and
okay.
He's definitely let some things know. But look at I'll just say this: Tencent is a big part of why we haven't heard any more about the Ubisoft Plus and Game Pass. So
interesting.
And it may not be for the reasons you think.
But okay, all right, got it. Cool. All right. Well, folks, can't wait to get off camera. Let's end the show. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Everybody, have a good night.
Wow, that was the shortest intro or outro I've ever done.
Well, yeah,
we're for now, bro. Good to see you.
Yeah, we got two Xbox Infinite guys hanging out right now. Risk it for the biscuit, Infinite Umbra. Shout out to you guys.
Biscuit. What's going on?
Well, everybody, it's been real. Thanks for tuning in to Xbox Ultimate Podcast, episode 116. We'll get everybody out of here. Start with Jasper. Jasper, tell everybody where they can find you and catch some of your Midnight Sun streams and whatever else you got going on.
Yeah. Lord Jasper on Twitter, Lord Master Jasper on YouTube. I was wanting to stream more, but my internet was being assy like the last week and a half, so I didn't do that. But yeah, I'm trying to get back into it. I streamed Midnight Suns the other day. Check that out. And FSP is Monday at 10 o'clock right here on the Fun Speculation. And then it's back here Friday night, 10 o'clock, Xbox Ultimate on the Fun Speculation channel. Check that out. That's where I'm at. Do that. Have fun.
On, bro. Thank you, sir. Fuzzy, what about you, man? Where can everybody see your Need for Speed Unbound game crash?
For anybody who wants to, I just want to say thank you for having me. Thanks to the guys in chat and everything, and everybody catching this live or on replay. For any of my rambles on anything gaming related, just follow me on pretty much any social media, primarily Twitter at @fuzzy_Belvedere. You can also find me on the Shop Podcast tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Arizona time, on PTK Blam's channel. On Monday afternoon, Xbox Lunch Break Special on Double Barrel Gaming at once again 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. And then later that evening, FSP, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Fun Speculations channel. And then on Friday morning, 10 a.m., Breakfast with Boom, at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Double Barrel Gaming, and then right back here at 10 p.m. right here on Fun Speculations channel for Xbox Ultimate. Look forward to seeing you guys there.
Good on, man. Thank you as always, Fuzz. Psycho, the mellow fellow from outer space that is going to be traveling into outer space next year for sure with Starfield. Where can everybody find you, bro?
Chat, thanks for coming out tonight. You guys are fantastic. Can't do it without you. And don't forget to claim your 20% off code. I think it's 20% off.
Yeah, 20% off and free shipping.
And free shipping with Fun Speculation. Shave them balls. And so you find me social media everywhere at Psychonauts 8. And you can find me on FSP Mondays at 10 and here Fridays at 10 o'clock, where we were kind of good tonight. We didn't go fucking off the wall. We kind of kept it professional.
Yeah, a little profesh.
Yeah, a little bit, you know. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of fucking I've been playing some Death Stranding and not a fan. It's all right, and it gets very repetitive very quickly. And I put it down and playing some Game of the Year Ghost of Tsushima.
Nice. That's awesome, man. I'm glad you got that finally, so you get to check it out. Pong Soul, dude, I know you're gonna be playing some more Midnight Suns and whatever else, but where can everybody find you, bro?
I am, again, your new Marvel super fan right here, Pong Soul. It's great. It's fantastic. Everybody get out there and play Midnight Suns if you are looking for that tactical strategy.
You
RPG.
going dark or light?
Going dark, baby. Always. Always. And since I can't play Jean Grey, I'm making Jean Grey. So I'll have Phoenix by the end of it, for sure. But otherwise, hey, tomorrow morning, you know what to do. Set the alarm, set the reminders. Steel got a video out today. I didn't, but Steel did. You got to get ready for Living Split Screen tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time. Buckle up now. You might as well get into bed and strap yourself down and just get ready for the morning, because Steel and I are going to be coming in live, raw, and uncut, as he always likes to say, for 3+ hours. And you know we're probably going to go 4. So be there. Living Split Screen tomorrow morning. Split Screen is all one word. See you there. I'll have reminders out for sure in the morning. And then, of course, tomorrow night, it's the Shop Podcast over on PTK Blam's channel, where I get to join my brother from another Fuzzy yet again for another show tomorrow night, which is now at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 o'clock Central Time. Again, PTK Blam's channel. Be there. We have a great time. We end your Saturday night the right way with some great conversation. So Shop Podcast tomorrow night. And then, of course, back at it next week, Tuesday. Don't know if I'll be on Xbox Factor Podcast. It's always going to be a surprise if I am, but you got to show up there, because Double Barrel Gaming and Mr. Boomstick is the man, and it's all good things green every Tuesday, 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Central Time. It is the Xbox Factor Podcast. Be there. And then, of course, Thursday night, it is PM in the PM. Again, if you didn't catch last night's show, we had the one, the only, the myth, the legend, Colt Eastwood on. We had a great time with him. Great conversations for it was like 2.5 hours last night. So go check that out. But otherwise, next week, I think it is just going to be me and Matt back at it, the 2-man show every Thursday
Next
night.
week is the Game Awards.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. Yeah, we're not going to have PM. Thank you. I totally forgot. So we'll probably be having a special. Probably have the whole fam.
Yeah, anybody that's on the Fun Spec fams, always welcome to any of our shows, and that includes the Game Awards.
Yes.
Next,
we'll be live streaming that.
What time is that?
Starts at 6 p.m. Central, I think. 6 p.m. Eastern. I can't remember.
I think it usually falls right at the start when PM and the PM.
Yeah, so it's got to be 7 p.m. Eastern.
Last year it ended up being like a 5-hour PM and the PM.
Yeah, yeah, it was. It was crazy. But we'll find out whether or not Xbox is going to show up and whether or not Sony does show up. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be kind of a surprise. But there's going to be great, probably new, obviously first-time games there from other people, from third parties, no matter what. So
505 announced that they're going to have a announcement there.
Yes, and they teased it already. So join us next week for the Game Awards. Who knows who's going to join us? It's going to be a fun time. next Thursday, and then, of course, Friday night right back here. It is the golden age of gaming, people. That's right. It is. Get out there and enjoy it. Play what you love what you play. Have a fantastic weekend. I'm going to talk to you all real soon tomorrow morning. Mav, back to you.
Appreciate it, Pong. And we got a super chat from Vic the Click for $5. Says,
Of course.
Amazing
Always.
episode as always. I'm at the bar, but it's home. Miss you, Psycho.
Tell all those people to
Miss you
subscribe
too,
to
buddy.
this channel, and tell all those people to subscribe to Living Split Screen,
Yeah.
Vic.
Yeah,
Get them all.
Vic,
Get them all
Game
drunk.
Pass.
Get them drunk, you know,
Grab
and
their
then
phones.
say,
Pull up their YouTube.
and get them to buy a Series S, and get them hooked on Xbox, and tell them that this podcast is the one to listen to.
And have them sign up for Manscaped.
yeah,
20% off.
yeah. If
Fun
you
speculation.
if you could promote the Fun Speculation discount code at the bar right now for everybody's balls, and video record that would be fucking incredible, bro. The drunk ass Vic promoting Fun Speculation ball shaving codes at the bar. Yes, let's go. Shout out to Alvin, member for 5 months. Appreciate you as always, Alvin, as well. It says amazing show tonight, gents. Yeah, amazing chat tonight. You guys have rocked as well. Very hyped for the show tonight. So
Vic says he's not getting in a fight over his balls.
not getting a fight over your balls. Come on.
Hey, ladies, get to shave your balls.
Oh,
Look at this. What do you think? This is Manscaped right here.
You
Just show
could-
them off, Vic.
Vic, you know a way to guarantee a fight is if you got some of the ball deodorant or crop reviver and you started offering free samples in the bar, free demos. You know, just go around and just randomly start putting.
Free
Let me-
smell
let me
test.
slap some of this on your balls.
Hey, can I see your
Free-
balls, sir?
free
I'm
smell test.
gonna spray some crop reviver on you and gonna smell them and see the before and after. We'll have. How about have a smell test? Have like 5 guys' balls on the table and have one of them with the ball reviver on it, with the ball deodorant, and the one of them with the crop reviver, and then have like some other guy like go around and smell all the other balls,
And then
they
Vic
can
says
say
it's not
which
that kind of bar.
ones.
And then
oh,
when you go to
okay.
jail after sexually assaulting 5 people, you can ask all the prisoners.
Yeah, get Manscaped.
Yeah,
Come on.
Mhm.
All right, Vic.
yeah. Have a good one.
You're no fun, Vic. Fun killer.
Yeah. You can just put me on speakerphone. I'll do it for you, Vic. No,
Yeah,
it's
we'll sell it
okay.
right now. Just tell everybody, listen up.
Yeah.
Got an important announcement.
Right on. Hey, everybody. No, for real. I appreciate you all. Have a good one. Take it easy. We'll have Game Awards next week. PM and the PM will be a special show, as well as we'll have FSP Monday, Xbox Ultimate Friday, and then some more game streams. Don't know exactly what
Yeah.
I'll stream, but it's always a thing. So just tune in.
Yeah, it's 4 days before my birthday, so yeah.
Ooh, nice. Nice.
Nice birthday stream / watch Xbox doesn't fucking show, motherfuckers.
Well, you got
Yeah.
a smaller mini fridge.
Yeah, what I was joking about on Primetime Gaming was they're gonna show all the multi-plat games that they have. They're gonna show Elder Scrolls Online. They're gonna show Fallout 76. They're gonna
Yep.
show Minecraft Legends.
ESO.
Yeah, Elder Scrolls Online, Fallout 76,
Yeah, that's right.
Minecraft
You
Legends.
say that.
And is there anything else they have that's multi-plat?
No, they'll show off a new controller too.
Yeah,
Got to have a new controller.
yeah, probably.
Special Game Awards controller
All right. Anyway,
with Keely's face. Oh, it'd be amazing.
peace out, everyone. Take it easy.
Later.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.